Morning, everyone. Yeah. Okay. Welcome to TLCO. And for heading today's lessons, understanding e-invoice and my invoice portal. Today is a half-day course. Okay. So I'm very glad to see all of you spend the time this morning today to come here and we learn together about what's happening in 2 months later. Going to happen. We're going to start implement the e-invoicing. Okay. All of you know nowadays the technology advancement is like crazy, right? So we have AI, we have virtual reality, we have robots now. Even maybe you can foresee 5 to 10 years later there will be a lot of AI robots in us, right? So under this technology advancement, okay, so our method of doing work is going to change, and the method of your business owner doing the business will also change, keep changing. Okay, so one of the big changes we can call it evolutions in Malaysia is this invoicing implementation. Actually, it started in last year. Okay, 1st of August for the big company, more than 100 million. Okay, so this year, 1st of July, you are affected about 70% of the businesses in Malaysia, which is the revenue yearly turnover more than 500,000 a year. Right? So this coming invoicing, whether we like it or not, we have to comply. Right? So this is a good thing because now we know the world is changing. Now everything will go to digitalization. Right? So if you don't catch up of this trend, you will be left out. So we have to learn in order for us to keep ourselves, to keep track for this new technology trend. So actually it's a good thing. Okay. So before the class, I want you to mark the attendance list. Thank you. Okay, you can write down your name and your company. So for our record. Okay. Okay. So I believe everyone have taken your breakfast already, right? So now it's already 9 a.m. Yes, anyone haven't taken breakfast? Oh, yes, no, not yet. Why? Oh, okay. Never mind. If you feel hungry, you can have a snack later. We have a break time. Okay, can Okay. Today's lesson will cover the topic. Understanding e-invoice and my invoice open. Okay. By end of today, you are able to know what is e-invoice. Okay, this is including the e-invoice general guidance, specific guidance. Under what circumstances you need to handle the e-invoice. And secondly, you are able to understand special guideline. Okay, guidelines. Okay, there is a special guideline published by LCN. It's given a lot of special scenario on special scenario in what kind of scenario, what kind of method you need to deal with the e-invoice. And thirdly, you are able to issue e-invoice. Using the My Invoice portal. So this is what you're going to learn for this today's class. Okay. So first thing, I'm going to divide today's lesson into 6 parts. Okay. The first thing is overview of invoice. Anyone of you have ever attended a similar training seminar before for this topic, e-invoice? Anyone? No, this is your first time for invoice training. Okay. So you have to prepare very well because 2 months to go. Okay. So for those, none of you attended. So you need to pay attention to this overview because I introduced the background of e-invoice, the basic knowledge of e-invoice, and more or less the theory part. So the theory of e-invoice is here. So specific guidelines is published by FDN for to deal with special circumstances, how you're going to handle. Okay, then go to the third one, self-bill invoice. Self-bill maksudnya sendiri buka invoice kepada sendiri. This is not issue invoice to your customer. Is you invoice, you pretend yourself is your supplier, issue invoice to yourself for the purchase. Okay, what sentences later we'll go through. So the fourth one is consolidated invoice. Consolidated invoice is for those, okay, you no need to issue every invoice one by one. You can consolidate, combine, okay, many transactions into one invoices. How you can do so, that we'll go through. And then the fifth part today, I'm going to introduce you how you're going to issue invoice using the My Invoice portal. Okay, you need to understand this one as well. Even though you have accounting software, you know why? Because sometimes accounting software they will break down. Sometimes they lost the link to the My Invoice portal. Sometimes invoice portal they update. So the linkage between the My Invoice portal and accounting software they break down. So you need to manually go to My Invoice portal to issue invoice. So it's very important for you to learn this one also. Okay, the last part, I will go through the FAQ, frequently asked questions with you all. FAQ I extracted from the FAQ published by FDN. But most of the FAQ is not so relevant to us. It's more to like the custom side, what information you need to fill in inside K1 form, you import, export. Okay, I will cover more the basic thing. And FAQ I also modified a lot of questions. These questions I selected from my previous seminar. For those people ask a lot of questions, right? So I choose hot topic I put here. The one of the most asked questions are those related to rental income. So later you will find. You can understand a lot from this rental income issue because rental income issue is quite complicated. Once you understand this, you can understand the rest from the logic. Yeah, okay? So we start the first part today. Overview of e-invoice. Okay, first question. What is e-invoice? E-invoice is invoice in digital form, of course. Okay, so some of my clients say, hey, I already started e-invoice many years ago. You know why? Because I'm using my computer to issue invoice. So I already got digital copy, right? So that is e-invoice, right? No. E-invoice, it must be a machine readable format. What means by machine readable format? Okay. It's not like you print out your invoice, you job site and you scan, right? Some people do so. You scan, it's a scanned copy. It's a picture form, right? Because the signature is a picture form. So it's not a digital form. Digital form means that you upload to My Invoice portal or you send to other party. Okay? The machine will understand what is the content inside because it's not picture, it's a digital data. So they can understand your SSC number, your PIN number, everything. So, and last thing, the format is XML or JSON. It's stipulated by LPN. You don't need to memorize this thing because you're using your accounting software or you're using My Invoice portal to issue the invoice, it will automatically come up with these two formats. And not the PDF or JPEG, JPG. This is a picture format. Okay. But if you are using your accounting software, after you submitted the invoice, you want to send to the client, right? So accounting software will allow you to export, generate into PDF form. But PDF form is a visualization of the e-invoice. It's not the e-invoice itself. E-invoice itself is this format. Okay? Any question so far? No? Okay. I'm going to teach you how to differentiate between traditional e-invoice and now the e-invoice. traditional invoice, it can be printed copy, it can be handwritten, it can be soft copy. Soft copy means you print out, just sign and then scan. It's a soft copy, right? But invoice is a digital copy. You don't need to just sign. Okay, because it has the digital signature and a very unique ID for that invoice. No need signature anymore. Okay. Traditional invoice, you don't need to upload to LCM for validation. But invoice do require LCM validation. You need to submit to my invoice portal, LCM website, and then you will get the validation. And traditional no QR code because you don't need to validate. Because e-invoice, after you do the validation, you have the QR code. Okay. For example, I'll show you this invoice. Later I will show you an example of e-invoice after validation. Okay. So there are 4 types of e-invoicing transactions. Under e-invoicing is a system. Under this e-invoicing system, there are 4 documents. 4 documents. Out of 4, 3 documents you already very familiar if you are doing account. Okay, the first one is invoice. Okay, invoicing must come with invoice. First thing. Okay. Then the second thing is credit note. No invoice, no credit note, right? If you're doing account, sure. You issue invoice. If you want to change any particular like selling price, okay, you want to amend or people want to get discount, you want to give discount of the invoice, you issue credit note, right? And CN, DN, debit note. I think you're very familiar with these 3 items, these 3 documents. Okay, because now you deal with these 3 every day, and under invoicing, we come up with new thing. We call it refund note, ARN, refund note. Okay, this normally we don't have one, but under invoicing, you will get this one. So because of this is a new thing, I will explain more about this refund note. Refund note is where you refund money to your customer. You need to issue refund note. But okay, there are few scenarios you are not required to issue refund note. Okay, the fundamental is this thing, invoice. Remember, you need to come first thing, invoice first. Okay, then only you want to change the particular of invoice, you use what? CN, DN, or refund note. Without invoice, this one not exist. Come first, okay. So by that logic, you can understand in these 3 circumstances, you no need to issue refund note. Because nowadays we never heard about refund note, but after invoice, you will keep hearing that, go refund note, go refund note. The first thing is payment made wrongly by buyer. What means by that? Okay, it means okay, you got one client, you never issue invoice to him, but suddenly you receive a payment from him. Oh, give me money. Then you ask him, oh sorry, I paid wrongly already. Oh, I want to pay to another supplier, but I paid wrongly to you. So how? You never issue invoice to this customer, but you paid money to you. So you want to refund the money to them. Can you issue refund note? You never issue invoice, so you no need to issue refund note to refund the money. You just refund. That's all. Because you no issue, no invoice before. Okay, second thing, overpayment by buyers. Okay, this customer, you charge him 1,000, let's say 1,000. He paid 2,000. Wow, so nice of pay double. Then they tell you, oh sorry, I paid wrongly. I want to pay 1,000, but I paid wrongly. I typed 2. So you want to refund 1,000 back to the customer, right? Okay. So I ask you, the 1,000 you refund, is it for the invoice? Not under invoice, because you paid 2,000. 1,000 is under invoice. You refund the 1,000 is not inside the invoice. So that 1,000 refunded, no need refund note. Third thing, return of security deposit. Deposit, before you understand this, you need to know there are 2 kinds of deposit. One is refundable, one is non-refundable. Okay, can you differentiate? Okay. Refundable is means like you keep the money. Okay, you want to do some transactions with the customer, you receive the deposit. But at the first place, you already mentioned to the customer saying that, okay, this will be refunded to you after the transaction completed. It's refundable. So when you receive the money, you no need to issue invoice. Okay. Second scenario, the customer pay you deposit. You tell the customer, okay, you pay me deposit. This deposit is an advance payment. After the transaction completed, okay, I will charge you, but this deposit will be used to pay off the invoice. I will not refund to you anymore. So this is non-refundable deposit. So if you receive non-refundable deposit, you need to issue invoice. Okay. So the difference is like that. Okay. So return of security deposit normally is refundable because it's just for the security. So as it is refundable, so you not issue invoice before this. Refundable, no invoice. So when you refund, no need to issue refund. Okay. Okay, so invoice, I think you're quite familiar with this. Suddenly in last month, our government announced we have another phase 4. Because since beginning, we already know that start from this year July, all the businesses above 150,000 revenue, they have to start implementing invoicing like this July. But there are portion of the businesses which is less than 500,000, but it's more than 150,000. They're going to implement in next year. Okay? But majority of the businesses will be implemented in July. Okay? Okay. So you ask the 150,000 and 500,000 threshold revenue, we based on what? Okay, the answer is based on 20 to 22. The year 2022. If you are the company, you are the Sindram Berhad, okay, we get the audited financial statement for 2022 as a guideline. You see the revenue. Is it more than 100K or not? Okay. If you are a personal income, personal business like sole proprietor partnership, you don't have audited account. So you based on what? You based on your income tax return. For me, you will state your revenue how much. So you take 2022 revenue how much to determine whether you start this year or start next year. Okay. You may ask, how about my business start 2023 or 2024 last year? I just started. I don't have 2022. So should I start by this July or should I start by next year January? Anybody know? I start business 2023. Okay, so the answer, okay, is based on revenue of your business started that year. What it means? Okay, if your business start in 2023, okay, so now you already have the account already, right? Okay, so you based on that account to judge whether you need to start by this year or next year. If you start 2024, use that account. How about if you start 2025? I never put here. Okay, all the businesses start this year. You don't have account yet. Don't have the year-end account. So you can start by next year January. Okay. If you are sure, if very sure, your revenue not going to over 150K, so you're going to start. Once you confirm start, your revenue will be more than 150. You have to start by next year. So this you understand? Okay. So consequences for not complying to e-invoice. Okay, of course penalty. How much is the penalty? The penalty is not less than 200 and not more than 20,000, or imprisonment not exceeding 6 months. So this is very serious offense. You're going to get you into jail. But normally no lah. Normally SDF just issue a compound to you. We call it compound for non-submission. Compound normally is 200 for the first time offense. They charge you 200. But if you have many times, you will increase of the compound. Okay. But you have to bear in mind this is per. Okay. Okay. For each non-compliance, means that if you missing to issue invoice for 10 invoices, they can count one by one, 10 offense here, each 10 non-compliance, they can use this one times 10. So it's very serious. Okay, so please comply. But you don't worry, you just comply first, you just issue invoice first. If you issue wrongly, they're not going to offense, not going to penalty you for you issue but wrong, something wrong with it. Because you can amend anytime. If you not comply, you not issue invoice, so you're going to offense this law. Okay, so better start. Okay, whether you can do or not, start first. Okay, do wrongly, later we see how to correct it. Okay, this is the thing. This question, what should you do if my invoice system experience restrictions? Because when this year, 1st of January, a lot of business started already. Or even though now it's close to the July, right? A lot of business start implementing invoice already. Sometimes the my invoice folder, when they upload, system hang, cannot upload. Okay. I think they received a lot of reports for this failure. So they saw in the latest guideline, they come up with this question. Last time don't have one. Okay. You can imagine 1st of July this year, wow, there will be a chaos. Everybody will upload their my invoice, invoice to the my invoice folder. So we can foresee the system definitely will get some trouble. Okay. So what happens if you want to upload? Then you cannot upload. Okay. Keep turning up, wait. So you can take video or you can snapshot. Okay. You want to prove yourself, I have the initiative, I want to submit, but the system problem, not my problem. Okay, if you can prove that, okay, if LGN want to penalize you for this, you can show your proof. Okay, it's not your problem, it's the system problem. So will not take any action against you. So what you need to do, you need to demonstrate yourself, evidence, you want to prove, you want to get evidence. The best is you use a video or you use a screenshot. Okay. So you definitely need to know because 1st of July you can foresee this will happen. So for those coming, now I still in the introduction stage for the my invoice system and just now we introduced about the basic knowledge of invoice. Okay. Please mark your attendance. Thank you. Okay. Now we talk about my invoice. My invoice is a portal. Okay. Collect the invoice data. Okay. So no matter you using this manual submissions or using API. Okay. What is manual submission using the my invoice portal? Is a portal hosted by LBM. It's a website. My invoice is a website. Okay. It's a free website for you to log in and issue invoice. Okay, you need to using the my invoice to issue invoice when your API connection is down. API is this one. What means by API? API is application programming interface. You don't need to remember this wording. You just take it as your accounting software. Or if you are retail sales, you take it as your POS system. POS system. Okay. It's an interface to connect your accounting system with my invoice portal. Because no matter you using your handphone, because handphone also can issue the invoice. Using your handphone, you're using your POS system, or you're using your computer accounting software to issue the invoice. Ultimately, where the invoice goes, invoice will go to my invoice portal. So your accounting software is just an interface only. Like a bridge between your software and the my invoice folder. Okay, to communicate between my invoice folder and accounting software. Okay, so the progress, okay, the step, okay, how is going on. First thing, of course, you issue invoice. Okay, after you issue invoice, you need to submit to my invoice folder. What? Validation of invoice. After you validate. Okay. When you validate, you need to key in the email. Your email and your customer email. So the my invoice folder will send notifications of the invoice to you and your customer. Two-person will receive. Okay? But so far, as I try I haven't received any email for this. Even though I submitted, validated, I haven't received any notification. But you can check on your My Invoice portal. It will appear. There's a list. You can check what invoice you have issued and what invoice people issue to you also. It's appear that. But notification maybe they just still improving because now since last week they started to mandatory for you. They force you to key in phone number and email address. Because last month because I started issuing invoice already. Because I need to try first month. So I never key in email, I never key in phone number. It can let go, it can validate, no problem. But last week cannot already. Because they keep strengthen the rules. Okay. So maybe next time you will automatically receive the email for the notification. Then you need to, if you issue invoice, you are the one to issue. You need to share your invoice to your customer. Of course, you know why? Because you want to chase money, right? Beside the notification from FDN, you also will send to your customer. So the customer receive two times. One is from FDN, one is from you. Okay. So after that, if we receive the invoice from you, within 72 hours, your customer can reject your invoice, or you yourself can cancel the invoice within 72 hours. Okay? If none of you take actions, you not cancel, your customer not reject the invoice, then how? Then the invoice will become permanently stored inside My Invoice portal. So this is the cycle of the invoice system. Okay, next thing. Okay, this is the buyer. This is the illustrations of how you're going to work invoice. Okay. This buyer, there are two circumstances. One thing is this liable to buy some things. They request the invoice on the spot when they pay money on the counter. They say, I want to have invoice. Okay. Then there are three methods to issue invoice from the seller. First thing, they can using the web portal, mobile app. Okay, online platform. You can use this means using computer or using the mobile apps. Okay. The second thing, they're using the post system. They're using the post system. Now post system can small thing only. They can even connect to My Invoice portal and issue invoice. Okay. Then the third one, using your mobile app, your handphone to issue invoice can also. So computer, post system, or your handphone on the spot. Okay. If not, when the buyer go home already, they will get, I forgot to request invoice. So post transaction means after the transaction you go home on the next day, you want to get invoice, can or not? Can. Okay, did not request invoice. Then the buyer go to online platform through the mobile app to request for the invoice. Can or not? Can. Okay. Actually now you can try already. You go to like family store, you go to the card one and SK you buy grocery, right? They give you receipt. Underneath there is the QR code. They ask you to scan, okay, to request for invoice. You key in your name, your IC number, your PIN number, then you can request for the invoice. So using your mobile app is okay. So this is the thing. Even try go to Aeon atau Just Tesco you beli barang ada QR code, tak nampak. Next time you take note, you buy, you try to see underneath, you can scan. Okay. Even now, okay. So when the first time our Prime Minister Anwar announced the invoice, they no guideline. Everybody go panic. Wow. So how I selling burger and the roadside also issue invoice. So the time no guideline, so everybody panic. So now we got guideline. Guideline already 4 version, 4 or 5 because the latest update is on last month, March, 15 March. Okay, but these 55 fields you need to fill in. They haven't changed. They never change since the day one. Okay. Everybody see this one also panic, even the guy come out. Wow, so many things we need to do in, but I will show you no need to worry so much because most of the thing you already key in now. You're using the system to issue invoice, right? Okay, you want to issue invoice, no matter you're using auto count, I think most of you using auto count. Not for you. Sometimes for the small medium company, maybe they're using auto count, they use SQL or accounting software. You want to issue invoice, you have to create customer first. Or you want to key in your supplier invoice, you create your supplier data. When you create this information, you just key in. You key in one time only, right? So every time you issue invoice, you just click this customer, then you type the details of your item. So this thing, most of the thing preset one. So you don't worry. Just first time you key in. Okay. So then after this, you key the product things. Product thing, of course, there's more thing to key in. But I want to highlight to you this thing. Classification. This is a new thing. Last time you don't have. Last time invoice. Okay. Your buyer, right? Preset one. Address, telephone number, everything by automatically come out. You select the customer come out. You change the date. Then you want to key in your product. Okay. Your product, number one, what product, number two, what product. Normally don't have classification code, but now we have already. Later I will show you what is the classification code you need to key in. Okay. And this is optional field. You don't need to key in. Or you want to key in also can. But normally no people key in one. Okay. There are one thing I want to share with you, which is buyer information. This is buyer information. So buyer information here. PIN number is a must. Identification is a must. Email, yeah. As I mentioned to you, last time you don't need to key in email can, but now it's mandatory. Means you can start collecting your customer email address already. Make sure you have a valid email address for you to send out the invoice to them. And address, of course, is a must. Contact number also. Last time you don't need to key in contact number. Now they force you to key in contact number. This too. Otherwise, they will give you error message. Please key in valid contact number of your customer. Okay. So these two things are. Okay. And this is the additional field you need to key in. If you have the shipping information, you want. Sometimes people already have shipping information on their invoices now. So it's the same thing. Invoice also put this. Okay. Import or export, you need to key in the tariff code. Okay. Free trade agreement, something like you will import and export businesses, you need to key in this one. Okay. But last time maybe you don't need to key in, but now you need to key in. Okay, why they put it as optional? Because I read the guideline. They say that now they are synchronizing the data between LTN and custom. Okay, these are all custom information. Now in the progress to synchronize, not yet. When will they synchronize? I don't know lah. Once synchronized, this one will become a mandatory. But now you want to key in or you not key in, you can also submit your invoice, no problem. Okay. But when will become a mandatory, I'm not sure. So just now I show you, right? I mentioned to you, they are classification code you need to key in for your products. Okay. There are 45 products. Okay, in the classification published by LCN until now. Okay, last time I think 30 something only. They keep updating. They add the items when they come out with program item. They just key in. Okay, you can note from here. See, number one, first feeding, childcare, computer, okay, assignment, gym membership also got. Okay. These are very familiar, right? If you submitting your personal income tax under personal relief, you noted this kind of thing. Is it examinations, medical examinations and testing for serious disease? Because if you understand this, you will know what is the purpose they want you to key in the classification code. Means that if you buy something, for example, you join a gym membership, Gym membership you can entitle for personal relief, right? Under the lifestyle. Okay. If the gym provider they issue invoice to you, they get your TIN number, so they upload to FDN. FDN already know you got gym membership. So under when you want to submit your personal tax, the relief they fill in for you already. You buy computer, lifestyle computer, fill in already. So you don't need to fill in yourself. Your income, they also know because your employer is submit Form E. Form E got your income. Okay? So the supplier key in your detail, they know your relief. So your tax is calculated for you already. You just click submit only. This is the future. You don't need to key in, you don't need to calculate your personal tax. They will calculate for you. But how precise is depends. Sometimes you need to check also. All these things out, so you need to key. Okay. One thing to highlight to you is this one. Kosong dua others. Because this only got 45. It's not enough because so many products in this world, right? So if you cannot find your service or your goods here, you just key in, okay, kosong dua lah. Okay, later we will see this. Okay, I will show you. Concession to fill in details. Okay, this is a concession given by FCN because when normally in Malaysia, when we start implement something new law, we will go to concession. I give you senang sikit at the starting. Later we try to get it harder. Okay, this is the concession given. If you issue invoice for these retailers, okay, like they open supermarket or something. Individual, the customer are mostly individual. Individual come here, you ask them to give you TIN number. What will they say? Mana I tahu TIN number ya? Nobody. You can remember. Even I can also cannot remember my own TIN number. So there is a concession. Okay. So if you're dealing with the individual buyer, you have two options. The first thing is you get for Malaysian, you get the TIN number. Okay, for non-Malaysian also can have TIN number one. Can. Okay. But why? How you going to do if they don't know the TIN number? You can get their my card, means IC number. Can also. Okay, for non-Malaysian, you get the passport. Okay, or PR number. Remember, this is option. Two, choose one. Okay, or if you have two number together, you key in two, can or not? Yes, can. So the thing is, you key in two or you key in either one. Okay, if don't have this one, can or not? Cannot. Must have at least one information. But okay, highlight it for individual buyer only. Company cannot. Company you need to key full details. Okay, for individual buyer only. Okay, this is the illustrator of the invoice. Invoice will be looked at this side. Your company letterhead. This is your invoice. Your details. This is your customer details. Okay, this is the like you can see a unique identifier number. This is your normal invoice number. Where now you have invoice number yourself one. This is your company one, and this UID. Okay, is given by the My Invoice portal. When you submit, they will assign a number for you, so they will know your numbers, your date and time submitted. Okay, and also you have the digital signature. You can see this one. This is the digital signature. You don't need to sign. Okay, and most importantly, you have this QR code. If you saw this QR code, means this invoice is being validated. If no QR code, means not validated. It's not the invoice. So we use this as a benchmark to see whether this invoice is a okay, classification code you can see from here. Start phone 003. So the rest are the same. So you just add this thing. So don't worry about invoice. Actually, it's not as hard as we think. Actually, it's quite easy. Just click submit. Okay. For my experience, I submit invoice. The fastest is 2 seconds. I click 1, 2. Okay. QR code come up very fast. And the longest is about 15 seconds. Last time is 10 seconds. Now I experience 15 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. 15 seconds later, give me the QR code. Okay. If too long, you wait too long, don't respond to you. And maybe sometimes they give you error message. So your invoice is not valid. So maybe it's because your information you key wrongly. So you need to check back your record. Because if they detect your number, because you need to key PIN number and the business identification number. Okay? If they detect this is not matched, they will reject you. System reject. So you need to check. Okay? If correct, then sure will get validated. No problem. Very fast, surprisingly. Okay, this is invoice from my firm. Okay, this is a real one. Okay, you see my letterhead. Okay, my customer details here. Last time I never key contact number, right? Can submit, but now cannot already. Okay, then you will see this big QR code. That means this is a validated invoice. Okay, my service is audit service. Audit service is not under the 45 classification code. I cannot find. So what I do, I put 020, I mentioned to you, is others. Okay. 027 is reimbursement. It's the third day, so I can key it. Okay, so you need to key the text. I got SST, right? So the region pretty here. So no need to chalk sign already. So this is a real scenario, right? Okay, so the session 1 ended. Hi, anyone, any question?
How about buyer and supplier for overseas regarding the PIN number?
Later I will show you.
Oh, okay.
There is a general code for people you don't have the PIN number from them. Normally it's EI 009 then 10 or 30. Later I will discuss about this. If not questions, we take a break for about 5 minutes, can? Okay, we go to session 2 later. Thank you. Want to go toilet, want to drink water or something. Okay, just now the part 1 is like a warm up only, exercise warm up. And this part 2 is the main dish, like you go to restaurant eating. This is the main course of your meal. This is more important because I'm not going to explain to I'm not going to explain to you the general guideline. General guideline there's a lot. Okay, but it's too general. I think most of you already know because you already issue. Because most of the thing is regarding how you issue, when you issue. This is all the same thing. So what I focus is on the specific guidelines. What special circumstances? If you are in a special industry, or you have sometimes your way of doing business, your way of keeping a record is different from other people. So under these circumstances, how you handle? Okay. So under these special circumstances, okay, we have 8 special guidelines. Actually, there are 14 special guidelines under the publications issued by SDN. I extracted 8 items. Okay, actually, later I will show you the self-bill and consolidated invoice. They are also under the specific guideline, but I separate it out. I make it 2 topics because they are so important and so relevant to us. So I have to separate it out and talk more deeply for you to understand. And these 8 also quite general, which is applicable to most of the SME. The first one is statement and bills of practical basics. Okay, you just remember statement. You will see statement, right? Okay. Later I go through in more details. Disbursement and reimbursement. This is more for the service provider. If you are service provider, these are mostly relevant to you. And employment requisites and benefits and expenses incurred by employee on behalf of the employer. Okay, under specific guideline, there are 2 items. I combine into one. Why? Because the treatments are the same. So I combine it into one, talk together. Okay. This one I think if an HR or if you are account which you handle your staff claim, okay, lorry driver claim, salesman claim, these are very relevant to you. Okay. Transaction with invoice payment monitoring to agent, dealer, or distributor. This is relevant to trading company because trading company they appointed a lot of salesmen, right, or sales agency to sell the thing because they're trading. So when they pay commission to agent, this is relevant. Okay. Cross-border transactions for import or export, import goods or import services also relevant. Or we can export service also, or you export also relevant for this one. Profit distributions is more to company that's around the hub. You heard about terms dividend, right? When they make money, they want to distribute to shareholder. They distribute as a dividend. This is kind of profit distribution. Okay, number 7, currency exchange rate. This is also relevant to cross-border, to buy or sell from outside Malaysia. It's relevant to you, but this one is very minor. Okay, it's different from cross-border transactions because this is nothing special for you to do. Okay, you don't need to issue extra document. You don't need to take a lot of attention on. Okay, but it's quite important, so I put here. And the last thing also very popular topic, e-commerce transactions, because nowadays you buy things from Shopee, right? Become a norm already, right? So a lot of people start selling things in Shopee, Lazada, TikTok got famous also. So this become more and more famous already. So I will cover all these 8 specific lines today. First thing, statement bills on periodic basis. Okay, I directly give you example. I don't need to explain so much. Okay, like first thing, digital electronic payment. Now we go to makan, how we pay money, we using touch and go, right? Very common already. You know that touch and go, your handphone, right? You can go and get the monthly statement. You can check your every month what's the expenses details. So this is called statement. Okay, digital payment. And the second thing, financial services including banking, like bank, right? Every month you get bank statement, right? So this is also a statement of your credit. What is the concept? Like statement from bank. Okay, bank, if you get loan, bank charge you what interest, and sometimes they charge some service charge. If you check, they charge you service charge. Service charge, they charge by invoice or not? No, they give you statement. The charge appear on the statement. So this is the invoice using the statement as the basis. Okay, healthcare. What means by healthcare? Like there's one person, you go to hospital, make an operation, and stay hospital for 7 days. Let's say, okay, will they issue every single transaction like the operation? We have a lot of doctors, when a lot of things like medicine, they calculate one by one, right? Okay, so end of the 7 days, when the people want to check out, the hospital giving a long bill. Wow, apa charge another, right? Okay, so they not charging each item one invoice. No, that 7 days they make it into one what statement. So this is a statement basis. Okay, insurance also like some people pay insurance yearly, quarterly, half yearly. Stockbroking, buy or sell the share market. Okay, telecommunication like you using DG message postpaid, every month you get the statement. So they're not going to charge you satu call, berapa sen, one invoice. They charge you in a statement total. So this is the statement built on periodic basis. The method is this. They practice the issuance of statement or bill to record multiple transactions. Okay, multiple transactions over a set of period of time. The period of time can be 1 month, can be 7 days, like okay, right? So they're not saying monthly, they say a period of time. How long the period you yourself to determine. Okay, in real life, I only can imagine one industry. Beside this is laundry. You know laundry business? Okay, some of the laundry they collect the blankets, bedsheet from the hotel, right? They wash. This is every day they collect and wash. So they're not going to issue every day one invoice. They have every month they issue one invoice. They record 30 days or 31 days. Okay, each day how much? They want invoice 1 month. So this is also a statement basis. So this is the real life one. Okay, timing for issue invoice. Okay, as I mentioned just now, it can be monthly, bi-monthly is 2 months, 2 months one time, quarterly by annually. Okay, actually 7 days, how many days? You can define yourself, no problem. Okay. So the statement, no problem, right? Okay, second, disbursement or reimbursement. This is more relevant to service provider like accountant, lawyer, okay, or some people they doing logistics, also quite relevant to them. Under this disbursement or reimbursement, you need to know 2 key things. One thing, how you differentiate. Okay, what kind of charges is disbursement? What kind of charges is reimbursement? You need to learn how to differentiate it. And second key, you need to know under what circumstances you need to issue invoice. Only one sentences you need to issue invoice. The other one you don't need to issue invoice. Okay. So this two thing. Okay. Now we talk about disbursement first. Disbursement is out-of-pocket expenses incurred by the client. Okay. Now you imagine you is the service provider. You provide the service. This is the client. Okay. And these expenses is incurred by your client, not you. Okay. So this is disbursement. The third party issue invoice to who? To your client. Okay. Very hard to imagine, right? Okay, I use diagram to show you very easy. Okay. Service provider, imagine this is you. Okay. This is your client. Okay. And just I mentioned what the expenses is incurred by who? Incurred by client. So the invoice issued to your client, not issued to you. So this is disbursement. Can get that? Okay. So if you can understand this, definitely you can understand the second one. Just make it half here. Reimbursement is the out-of-pocket expenses incurred by you as a service provider. Okay. The third party invoice issued to who? To you. Then you want to charge the client. Okay, very hard to imagine. There's a diagram. So this is you, this is your client, this is the supplier. Okay. The issue, the bill to you. Okay. I give you an example. Okay, go back to just now. This is disbursement. Okay, imagine this is a lawyer, not you. This is a lawyer. Okay, so the lawyer, this client, okay, go and buy property. Buy property, you need to pay what? Stamp duty, right? Stamp duty is you pay to who? Pay to LSTN. Okay, but the money you will directly pay to LSTN or not? No, you pay to lawyer, right? Lawyer help you to pay to LSTN. But when LSTN receive the money, LSTN issue invoice to who? But LSTN don't need to issue invoice. But if LSTN going to issue invoice, the invoice will issue to client. But payment is by lawyer. Okay. So this example, it's a lawyer. Okay. The lawyer want to do your case. The lawyer need to buy files, to buy A4 paper, printer, toner, everything, right? Okay. The lawyer go to the bookshop, stationery shop to buy A4 paper. The A4 paper invoice are issued to you or issued to the client? Issued to the lawyer, right? But the lawyer will charge what? Printing and stationery to the client, right? So this is the other thing. Okay, the issue originally, the invoice originally issued to the lawyer. Very clear? Okay. So if you can understand that situation, you can guess already. What circumstances you need to issue invoice? Disbursement. Disbursement, the invoice issued to client. So already issued to client. So the service provider no need to include in your invoice. Okay? You use the third party invoice to claim the money from the client. Okay? This is like the stamp duty lah. This is reimbursement. Reimbursement is like the paper, A4 paper, everything. The invoice issued to the service provider. So service provider want to charge client. Yes, they can include in invoice. So not required third party invoice. You understand? Okay. Okay. I give you a case study. Case study. I can test you whether you really understand or not. Ali going to marry. He engaged event planner to organize his wedding. Okay, the wedding, a lot of expenses. I just give 3 as example. Go and buy flower. Okay. Ali say, event planner, you help me to select flower lah. Okay, and buy the flower, and you help me to arrange sound system. Event planner go and arrange. But the location, the hall, the wedding hall, Ali said, hall, I have particular request. I arrange myself. So Ali go and find the place for the wedding. Okay. But Ali say, event planner, when you pay money, you help me to deal with everybody lah. You help me to pay. I pay the money to you only. Okay. So this invoice, because event planner go to buy flower, the invoice issued to the event planner. So the event planner want to get the money from Ali. Can he include the invoice? Yes. Okay, sound system, event planner, go and arrange the sound system. The sound system supplier issue invoice to event planner. So event planner want to charge Ali. So yes, this one, Ali go and find the rental of hall. So the hall landlord no Ali. So issue invoice to Ali directly. But money paid by the event planner. Okay, but we see the invoice issued to who, right? Ali. So event planner can issue invoice or not? Cannot. Okay. Good. You all understand very well already, Okay, so disbursement and reimbursement. Okay. 2 things to know: how to differentiate and what circumstances need or no need to issue invoice. That only. Okay. So now, employment, requisites and benefits. This one is relevant to all majikan. All the employer. Okay. First thing, what is so concerned for employer? Whether the staff claim, whether can deduct tax or cannot. This is the main question only. Alright. When the expenses can deduct tax, the best lah. Okay. So how to make it deductible against the tax? This is the question, and you need to understand this very, very well so that you can plan accordingly. This one need to plan, and you need to do something. Because all method doing this employment is different. Maybe last time you can see a lot of businesses, they never let the employee, the staff to sign the employment contract or offer letter. A lot of businesses, they don't have the employment letter. But under this all coming soon, okay, you need to implement this very strictly. Okay. Very important. Employment, requisite and benefit, we divided into 2 things. First thing is employment, related to employment, to exercise your employment. Like, okay, for example, salesman. Salesman exercise employment means what? Go to outside to see customers, see client, or to get sales. So this is what we call exercise their employment. Okay. Benefits. Benefits is nothing to do. You no need to, not to say no need to. Okay. I give you benefit not for you to go and run the sales. Okay. It's because you do something, okay, you achieve something, so I give you benefits. Okay. So this is for exercise employment. This is for just common benefits. Benefit you can give to like internal accountant, internal admin, right? For them to serve the company. Okay, example. This is a very common example for the company. what benefit they give to the employee. Okay, if employee is from outstation or from another university, they come here to work and they provide the hostel, including the water and electricity. For salesmen, maybe they give car maintenance. Okay, club membership, maybe for the big company, they have this club membership for the management level person. Okay, gym membership. Okay, sometimes good company okay, gym, they subscribe gym membership for the staff to go. Okay, professional subscriptions is like what's that? Accountant, we have MIA, we have ACCA, CPA, a lot of subscriptions. Okay, sometimes the subscription will be paid by the employer. Okay, allowances. This is very relevant to the salesperson. Okay, the salesman want to travel around to get the sales. Okay, the company will give them traveling, petrol, parking, or meal allowance. Okay, this you can see this is relevant to employment, right? Accuracy. Okay, this is also relevant to the employment. Okay, this travel allowance is not travel. You can like give annual trip, go jalan-jalan, makan-makan, okay, run negara, okay. But this one is not for you to go outside to exercise. It's go outside for enjoy, right? For travel allowance. This is under what I mentioned just now. It's under the benefits. Okay. But these two things, actually, the treatments are the same. The treatment is the same. Okay. You need to claim as you want to claim as tax deductible expenses. How? You need to have two things combined. First thing, okay, where employees are allowed to claim such expenses. How you prove that employees are allowed to claim? As I mentioned, under employment contract or employment offer letter, you mentioned that okay, because employment letter you mentioned the position. Okay, your position is let's say salesman. Your job scope is to go to meet customer around Malaysia. Okay, so you are entitled to claim what? Petrol allowance, parking, accommodation. Okay, so you black and white, written down, allowed to claim paid expenses. So this is what you need to do lah. If you don't have, means that you not comply with it, not comply with this one. So you cannot claim as tax deduction. Okay. Secondly, you want to prove the authenticity of the such expenses with supporting documents. Means when they go and they want to claim accommodation, you want to have the invoice from the hotel, they want to claim petrol, you want to give you a receipt from the petrol stations. That are supporting documents. So you need to comply with these two criteria, then that expenses can be done for tax. Okay. This some people, some company, they have more than one company and group. You got encountered this kind of scenario, no? Like a boss, they have 3 companies, they are related company. Some salesmen under this company, some admin staff under this company, right? But when they claim money, they use these expenses to claim under this company. Now still can, but next time cannot really. Because this, you cannot prove that employee, that person make claim is under your company. If the employment is under other company, that expenses you have to claim under that company, cannot use to claim under this company. This is the thing. For related company, one you need to think of. Okay. So there are 2 scenarios to claim the expenses. Okay. First scenario, the employee required to request for invoice to be issued under the employer names where possible. Okay. Where possible means that kalau boleh, okay, employee dia pergi, okay, employee, okay, they pay some expenses on behalf of the employer. Okay, payment and request the supplier to issue the invoice under the employer name. Okay, means that you go to buy something, the shop want to issue invoice to you. You say, hey, please don't issue under my name, issue under my company name. You give the company details to the seller. Okay, directly, even though you pay money, but the invoice issued to the company. This is the best scenario because directly. If you prove that expenses is for the company, this is very clear. Okay, kalau boleh. Okay, scenario. Okay, kalau tak boleh, invoice not possible to issue the employer name. So how? Okay, let's say this employee is a salesman, go to outstation and stay in the hotel. Okay, the hotel issue to the employee because the hotel say, oh, you come here and stay here one night, hotel. I don't know whether your company real or not. I know you are the real person. Sometimes hotel they want to record the person name one. Okay, so we say, okay, I will only issue to you personally. So the person employee, we have to give the details to the supplier, issue invoice to the employee. Then the employee go back to the company and make a claim. The company pay the money to the employee. This one is what I mentioned just now. Employee have to have the employment contract. This employee is under the employer, okay, to claim the expenses. So just now was two scenarios. One is invoice directly issued to the employer, then or the the invoice issued to the employee. Both is allowed to use the invoice as a proof of expenses. Kedua-dua boleh digunakan. As long as this got black and white saying that is the employee of the company. Okay? No need to issue salary invoice. Because why? Because at the starting of the invoice, got people say that, okay, if the invoice is not issued to the company need to sell bill. But actually it's no. If the invoice issued either to employer or employee, kedua-duanya okay, boleh digunakan sebagai proof of expenses. No need sell bill. Because the most difficult thing is this one: how to prove that person is your employee only. Okay. So maybe when you go back to your office, you check your staff, maybe staff employment contract. Did you mention that staff positions, job scope, and what expenses is allowed to claim? This one you need to check. Okay. So another question: how about overseas expenses? Sometimes it's just like I said, go traveling, travel allowance, annual trip, go to overseas. Okay. So the expenses is incurred in overseas. So the foreign supplier, okay, not issue invoice one. Invoice is in Malaysia, not for outside. So outside they never issue invoice to you. So how? Okay, don't worry. No need to do self bill. Directly use that invoice or receipt or bills. Okay, but you need to write. Okay, invoice. Kita pergi mana aja full jalan-jalan for annual trip annual trip. Okay, so this is why you have to claim under the company. You mentioned it's okay. No need to issue self bill. Okay, don't confuse. Later we'll talk about cross-border transaction. Cross-border transactions, you buy something from overseas. Overseas supplier never issue invoice to you. Right? Malaysia need to invoice like maybe Indonesia, they do not practice invoice. Your invoice is normal invoice. So when you import, you need to self bill. But not applicable for this case. This is talking about what? Employee benefits. Okay. Okay. So any question for the employment one? No question. Hey, normally I go to site talk. There are a lot of questions on this one. Employee, how? If I don't have employment contract, how? Okay, this is another transaction. If you don't have a particular employment contract for each employer, or it's not enough details, you can do what? You can have one company manual book or employee handbook. You state very details. Okay, for which position you can claim what. For what position you can claim what. You mentioned that there also can. So both way. Office manual or employee handbook, generally for everybody to see, or specific in each person you use contract, employment contract. Payment to agent, dealer, artist, I mentioned just now. Two keywords for you to know is one, commission. Okay? If your payment involves commission, here not mentioned. Two, second keyword, agent. That person must be agent. Agent means what? Agent is not your employee. It's not the company staff. It's outsider. Agent not your staff. Okay. So later, agent, dealer, distributor. I will just mention agent. Agent means that this three person. I mention one. Commission including commission, incentive, or other payment for the sales one. I just call commission. Okay. Current transaction flow. So current what will you do? Okay. So this is the diagram. Okay. Imagine you are the supplier. This is you. You appoint agents to sell the thing and sell the thing to the buyer. Okay. So you pay commission to the agent for agent to make the sales. Okay. Now you are here. Bear in mind, these are three relationships. 1, 2, 3. You need to deal with the agent. You also need to deal with the buyer. So you need to face two persons. Okay? Okay. You are the supplier to the buyer. Agent are the supplier to you. You can understand that? Agent, what agent supply? Agent supplies sales services to you. Serve you. So he is a supplier to you. You are the buyer. You buy what? You buy the service from the agent. So you are the supplier and you are also the buyer. Okay? Of course, I have a diagram to show you. Seller. Now you are the seller. You facing the supplier. You are supplying. You supply good to the buyer. Of course, easy. You issue invoice to the buyer. No issue. No problem. Okay. No. And now you are facing the agent. Agent is the supplier. I mentioned just now. Supply what? Supply sales service to you. So you are the buyer. You buy the service. So under this law, for payment or any other incentive, or so-called commission, in monetary form or otherwise, you can like give goods. You buy something, luxury goods, as a reward to the supplier. To the agent is also considered a payment. Okay? Not only in monetary form, in gift what are also considered. Okay? You need to sell bill. You assume you are the supplier, you issue sell bill to you. Later, I will talk more details about sell bill invoice. But now you understand this one first. So means that agent no need to do anything, just receive money only. No need to issue to you. So if you want to pay commission to the agent, you need to sell bill yourself for that expenses. Okay, can you get it? Right? Okay, this is the example for the sell bill invoice. Okay. This is selling car, I think. Oh. Sure, automotive. Okay, so this is agent. Normally supplier is you. Now you change the role already. You become the buyer. Seller is the supplier. Supplier become the buyer. Okay? The agent becomes the supplier. Okay. So you issue the commission, and this is a validated invoice. Okay. So commission, okay. Okay. Cross-border transactions. Okay, for those exercising import or export, you need to take care about this. Okay. First thing, what is the cross-border transaction? I think you can understand very well. There's a foreign seller and a Malaysian purchaser. Okay, the foreign seller sell goods or services to you. Okay, and then the foreign seller will issue invoice to the Malaysian purchase. Normal invoice is not e-invoice because foreign seller normally practice e-invoice. So you issue normal invoice. Okay. Vice versa. Okay. If today you are the seller, you are the foreigner, and you have the foreigner customer, you sell the good to the foreigner. Okay. Also applicable. Okay. But the invoices will be different. Okay. How different, was it? Okay, let's see. Foreign income. Foreign income means that you sell something. You sell something to outside Malaysia. Okay. Just normal. Assume you're selling to Malaysia, then you're selling to outside Malaysia. It's the same. You just issue e-invoice. About the TIN number later I will show. Don't worry. Okay. So you just require to issue invoice. So there is no difference for you to sell things to outside Malaysia and within Malaysia. You just issue invoice only. Okay. The tricky part is when you make purchase. Okay. As per their current invoicing arrangement. Okay. Some people will ask that when I export to outside Malaysia, when should I issue invoice? Okay. Just follow your normal practice. No need to change because buying things there is a timing issue. You need when you want to issue self-bill invoice. Okay, you see now. Okay, foreign expenses. Expenses mean what? You buy something. You buy thing. Okay, when you buy thing from foreign seller, okay, Malaysian purchaser assume the supplier role and issue self-bill invoice because foreign supplier not issue self-bill, not issue invoice. So you yourself need to issue invoice to yourself. It's a self-bill. Okay? Okay. There are two things to buy. One thing is buying goods. Goods is a physical goods, physical. Not service, physical goods. Physical goods want to go inside Malaysia, they go through custom. Okay. Custom need to clear custom. So you need to issue self-bills, but when the timing is latest by the end of the second month following the month of custom clearance is obtained. Okay, means that you buy something, maybe you buy in January, let's say 2025, you buy in January, then they go by shipment, go to custom, maybe in March, arrive custom. But a lot of documentation you want to do, hang. Oh, April only they clear custom. So the date effective from when? Not January, not March. It started from April. When the time clear custom. Okay, done clear custom, second month, end of second month means April clear custom. Second month means May, June. Second end of June, 30th of June, before you need to issue self-bill invoice for this purchase. Understand? For those import goods from outside, you need to think about this one. If clear custom in April, you want to issue self-bill invoice in May, can or not? Yes, can. Latest by June. Latest by 2 months later. Okay. How about service? Service, there is no custom. No need to pay custom. Okay. So the trigger point, there are two trigger points. The first thing, okay, when you make payment to foreign supplier, you make payment, there is approved already. Second thing is the foreign supplier issue normal invoice to you, You receive the invoice, you see the date when they issue. Okay, so either one, whichever earlier. If you pay money first, so the date will be calculated from the day you make the payment. If you receive invoice, then you make the payment. Invoice come first, then we use the date for the invoice as a benchmark, then by end of the following month. So this is the second month, this is the following month. Means if you import services, you make payment, okay, you haven't received invoice, but you make payment last month in March. By end of April, you need to pay already. You need to issue self-bill already. Only 1 month. But goods, you got 2 months. This one I think we can understand. Very straightforward. Okay, and it's a self-bill, self-bill invoice. You need to issue invoice to yourself. Okay, imported services. Okay, this is very important. This is the point that a lot of people feel, no good, they are there. What is the thing? Okay, if you import things, the service and the service is applicable to SST in Malaysia, then you need to include the SST amount in the self-bill invoice. What it means? Okay, Malaysia, we have the SST law, service tax. Okay. Outside Malaysia, other country, maybe they don't have SST one. But the services you import to Malaysia, okay, and the services in Malaysia is subject to SST, then you need to charge yourself SST, not the foreigner charge you. You charge yourself SST, then the SST you pay to custom. Okay, what means you can see this one. Okay, this is you, your company. Okay, sell bill, you are the buyer. Okay, sorry, you are the buyer. This is foreign supplier. Okay, you can see there is an England one. England. Okay, and it provides legal services. I don't know whether England they charge service tax or not. I don't know. But in Malaysia, legal services we charge SST or not? Yes. Okay. So the England company, when they issue invoice to you, they not charge any SST now. But now you want to sell bill invoice. You need to include SST 8% into the sell bill invoice. But this England company don't know what. You charge yourself, and then you calculate, and then you pay to customer. Yes. This is not encourage you to employ outside Malaysia supplier for services. Guna Batan Malaysia. Okay. Okay, number 6, profit distribution. Okay. And if you just need to remember one keyword only, you take it as a dividend. What I think is only dividend, by the way. Okay, dividend. Now, dividend is what? This is the company, taxpayer that make the distribution, got profit, want to share to the shareholder. So this is the gram per heart. So recipient of the distribution. So this is the shareholder, right? Shareholder, or you can call it investor, or invest to the company. Okay. So they want to distribute profit in the terms of dividend. Okay. So this is the buyer, this is a supplier. How you imagine why this becomes supplier? Okay, this is investor and shareholder. What they supply? Shareholder supply capital to the company to operate, right? So without capital, the company can operate, cannot make money. So buyer buy the capital services from the supplier, which is the shareholder. So now they want to pay money. So they need to do self-bill invoice. Okay? Because shareholder, you ask shareholder to issue invoice to you. No, never. So the company, when they want to issue dividend, normally the first person to know dividend is the accountant, because the boss will ask, hey, accountant, next month I want to take money, just take 100K, take out. They never think about dividend one. But you as the accountant, you have to know, oh, this is a dividend payment. So first thing you need to inform who? Secretary. Because secretary need to prepare resolution for the company, for the director to sign for the dividend distribution. Okay. So accountant also need to know, I want to distribute, so I need to issue sell-bill invoice to pay money. Sell-bill invoice is to pay money. Supplier is who? Is the shareholder. Okay. So last time you don't need to take care, but now you need to take care. But if you are secretary also, you need to take care also, because when the accountant, the company accountant, tell you to prepare the resolution, if you are secretary, you need to ask client, hey, you know that you need to issue sell-bill invoice? Client is, oh, I forgot. Then they will issue the sell-bill invoice. Okay. So this is a mandatory, very important. Okay. But dividend, you know, sometimes I saw company every month they distribute dividend, but this is not a good practice. Dividend normally, okay, commonly is like quarterly, every 3 months one time, 3 months one time, 3 months one time. Several of people every month dividend, a lot of paperwork, so not encouraged. Okay. Okay, there are two kind of companies exempted for issuing self-bill invoice for the dividend payment. First one is this exempt company, okay, which is not relevant to us, and listed company means if you invest into some Malaysian company, then they should be dividend to you. Okay, you don't do anything. Okay, just receive the dividend, and the listed company no need to issue sell bill also. But if you are not under to sign, the Sandra Mahat definitely is not under this, so you need to comply. So this is why in the first place, I ask you to remember, profit distribution means what? Means dividend. It's very easy to memorize. Okay, next, currency exchange rate. Okay, this is not much thing to take note because it's very, very straightforward. Okay. Transactions including foreign currency. If today you export, this is nothing to do with import. Import you no need to take care. This is only for export. Okay. When export, you issue invoice. Normally you issue in USD. Okay. Seldom you issue in ringgit Malaysia. Very seldom. Normally, most of the trade I saw is in USD. And when you issue invoice using USD, are you also exchange into Malaysian ringgit issue invoice? Normally, yes or no? No. Okay. Normally, no. I saw a lot of people when they do export, their invoice only got USD. They never mention in Malaysian ringgit how much. Can or not? Yes, and you know necessary to include Malaysian ringgit in your invoice for the export. You just only need to show USD. But depends lah. If you today is selling to Singapore, of course you quoted in SGD. You sell to England, you quote in pound, right? But if you're not showing Malaysian ringgit, it's okay, no worries. But if you want to include ringgit, can or not? Can also. So if there are two scenarios here. The first thing is no conversion, directly issued in foreign currency. Okay, people will know. Okay, then if you want to include RM, okay, because some scenario, okay, RM, I mean some scenario, your invoice you need to quote in foreign currency and Malaysian ringgit is compulsory under some authorities. They ask you to put this one. If in this scenario you need to quote these two currency, okay, you have to follow the exchange rate, okay, with the RTN, okay, or you can follow your internal policy. Actually, this one you don't need to know about this because first mentioned, if you want to issue in foreign currency and RM, you need to show your conversion rate. And the conversion rate, how you get? You need to follow LSDN rate or Bank Negara Malaysia rate. Okay, first thing. Or the rate is not applicable to you. You want to use internal policy exchange rate, can or not? Can also. So both anyway also can. But don't anyhow use one rate lah. You need to state the rate under your internal policy. For the MNC, they have internal policy. Okay, the group company, the holding company, we will fix this company with this company, okay, or with a lot of different branches in around the world. So the exchange rate I fixed already. So maybe they fix the rate, okay, to tie with the original HQ. Let's say the HQ in US, America, they use USD. So the all conversion will be convert the rate using the benchmark under USD one. Like that. Okay. So they have the internal policy. Otherwise, you need to use the rate from Bank Negara or LSDN. Okay. Okay. The key point actually is not that one. The key point is if today you want to show in RM, you need to provide currency exchange rate in the invoices. Okay, to be converted in RM equivalent. Apa maksudnya? You either one column or three column. You cannot two column. One column is USD, let's say, foreign currency. One column is RM. Okay, they must be conversion also one column. So either one column or three column. You tak boleh USD RM, two column tak boleh. You must be USD conversion rate RM, three column. The information of your exchange rate is very important. Okay, this is the key thing only. Other than this, nothing. Okay, so the conversion rate is okay. So now, this is a very famous topic, e-commerce transaction. Okay, know why? MCN, they focus on this topic also. Because actually now, nowadays, a lot of people are selling in Shopee, Lazada. They never report that. So how, later I give you this example, you will directly understand why they want to design e-invoice for e-commerce like this way. So they force those sellers, okay, how to describe? When they diving into the water, okay, after this, they all surface to the water already. I then can see everybody. Oh, you selling on the internet, you selling on Lazada, everybody will cash out. Okay. But e-commerce, maybe under e-invoice, e-commerce will different from your concept of the e-commerce. Okay. How I say so? From our understanding, e-commerce is like you sell something from the internet. Okay. Maybe today you are selling what? Selling a laptop, let's say a laptop, Excel or a HP laptop. You have your own website, HP website. Okay? People go to your website to buy something, buy a laptop. Okay? So you are doing e-commerce or not? Yes, you are doing e-commerce. But you are not e-commerce under e-invoicing. Oh, why? Okay, you read this definition. What is e-commerce transaction? E-commerce transaction, bracket, under e-invoicing. Okay. Just now I mentioned, if today you create a website, the website is belong to you, you sell something, people go and buy, this is e-commerce. Okay. But LCN e-invoice is saying sell and purchase of goods or services conducted over any platform. You see, I highlight red color, right? By method specifically designed for the purpose of receiving or placing an order. So I ask you, you design a website to sell something. Is it a platform for everybody to place order and receive? It's not. Okay. A platform means like Lazada. Today I want to sell something, can I register the account? Can I sell something on the HP computer website? Cannot, right? So that is not a platform. So under e-commerce, under e-invoicing, is a platform designed for the purpose of receiving or of placing order. You can place order, I can place order, you can go and buy, I also can go and buy. It's like a public one. So in Malaysia, we can only know got how many? Most famous is Shopee now, of course. Okay. Later, I only use one example. I use Shopee. I use Shopee. Okay, for this. Okay. So this is the diagram. This diagram is extracted from the specific guidelines one. LCN. Okay. So today, imagine this is you. This is Shopee. Shopee. They got a buyer. Okay. So one day, this buyer go to Shopee and place order. Okay. So the Shopee will inform you, notify you for the order. Then you sell the goods to who? To Shopee. You are not selling the goods to purchaser. You don't need to deal with the purchaser. Okay. So the Shopee get the goods and arrange logistics and deliver the goods to the buyer. Okay. This person not important. Forget about it. This one. Okay. So same with the agent just now. Commission. You. Okay. There are three relationships. You, Shopee, and the buyer. Okay. But now you only need to face who? You only need to face Shopee. The buyer already. Shopee need to face two persons. Shopee need to face with you. Shopee need to face with the buyer. Okay. So in more details, okay, you need to put some imagination. understand this scenario. Okay, this is Shopee, Shopee supplier. This is the buyer. Okay, of course you buy something from Shopee. Shopee will issue what? Issue invoice, e-invoice to you. Okay, this one no problem, right? Okay. Okay. Now Shopee, I mentioned Shopee need to face two persons. One is the buyer, one is the supplier, right? Okay, this is you, So just now Shopee deal with the buyer, easy, clear. Now Shopee want to deal with you. This is what complicated. Okay. I mentioned just now, actually you sell goods, it's not selling to the buyer. You are selling the goods to Shopee. So Shopee is the buyer, you are the seller. So when Shopee purchase goods from you, Shopee will sell you. Understand? You are the supplier. Today you go to Shopee and sell something. Okay? Shopee buy from you. You need to issue invoice to Shopee now. No need. Because Shopee will sell you himself. You buat kaki kat rumah, tak payah issue invoice. Okay. But okay. Take note, the purchase price, Shopee buy from you is the same price with the Shopee selling to the buyer. Means buyer buy something from Shopee, let's say 100 ringgit. Okay, so Shopee buy from you, you sell to Shopee also 100 ringgit. No difference. Okay, so 100 ringgit issue to the buyer, 100 ringgit sell bill from you. So what Shopee earn? Shopee earn what? Yes, service charge. Good. Service charge to the seller. Service charge last time is very cheap, like 2% or 3% only. Now Shopee, sekarang is about dia monopoly seluruh Malaysia already. So the service charge I'm not sure how much. I think it's 7%. Compared to last time, only 2 or 3% only. Now they charge service charge like they charge like platform charge. I think a lot of charges. So the Shopee seller quite big deal also, and less and less. Okay, this is my topic. Okay. Now second thing, Shopee is a supplier because it provides service to you, they want to charge you. So in this scenario, Shopee only issue normal invoice. So in conclusion, Shopee need to issue 3 invoice. First invoice is to the buyer, normal invoice. Second, they issue sell bill to the seller. Third, they issue invoice to the seller. So what the this you if you are the supplier, what do? You don't need to do anything because you don't need to issue invoice to the seller, the ultimate buyer. You also don't need to issue to invoice to Shopee. You just distress the item. So at the end, there we have the record of how much you sell the goods, how much Shopee charge you. So every seller in the Shopee Lazada will surface. So good or not? For those last time, for those seller in Shopee, they never report tax. Of course, it's not good lah. But for me as a buyer from the Shopee, we think it's good lah. Right? They should have report tax. You know now, Shopee or Lazada, those seller, you know how much they can earn. Very, very huge amount. They do a live, they can in 1 or 2 minutes for thousands of goods being sold. So a lot of money they
What
earn.
if we buy from overseas platform like Alibaba?
Alibaba, you buy from overseas. Okay, if you are individual buyer,
But we are buying for company.
you are company, you buy from buyer, you need to choose sell bill in first. Sell bill. Yeah, because you import, it's kind of import of goods from overseas. But this is mostly on Malaysia, for the Malaysia. Okay, so section 2 ended. No question, So far, specific guidelines, any question or not? No? Okay, we take a longer break, I think it's 15 minutes. Right. I'll take a 15 minutes break. You want to take a snack, we have prepared some snack for you. Snack time, you can eat, and you want to go to the toilet, also can. Okay? We come back at 11 o'clock. Right?
11.
11:10. Okay, 11:10. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to the third part. Okay, we already know the definitions of and the basic knowledge of the invoice already. Okay, so we also understand the specific guidelines. We have one topic right just now, so we already understand what it means by specific guidelines. Now we go to the third part today. Issue invoice using my invoice portal. But before this, we have two topics to learn also. The first one is self-billed invoice. Just now I mentioned a lot self-billed invoice, right? So what is the details, okay, of the self-billed invoice? Under what circumstances I need to issue self-billed invoice? Okay. So first thing we need to know what is self-billed invoice. Self-billed invoice is under certain circumstances. It's not all. Jangan tak ada invoice saja you terus issue self-bill. No. Ada situasi yang tertentu sahaja you perlu issue self-bill. Jangan semua okay sekali service. No. Okay. You as a buyer, okay, you buy something. You assume today you are supplier, then you do as a supplier role, issue to yourself. Okay, and you need to submit to LPM for the validation. Okay, this is a general definition. Okay, so I use the illustration to explain to you. It's better for you to understand. Okay, so there's a buyer, there's a seller. You are the buyer. Today you buying something from the seller. The seller answer to you, hey, I'm unable or I'm disallowed to issue invoice. There are two scenarios. One is the seller is unable to issue, means that the seller maybe dia tak ada buat business punya, dia hanya bekerja saja. Tak payah invoice kan. So it's unable to issue. All disallowed. Dia buat business, tapi some circumstances dia tak boleh issue invoice to you. You must issue self-bill. Like just now the e-commerce, right? You jual barang kat Shopee, tapi you tak boleh issue invoice. Mesti Shopee issue self-bill to you. This is two scenarios. So you are the buyer. The seller tell you cannot issue invoice. So what you will issue self-bill e-invoice to yourself, and then you submit the self-bill invoice to my invoice portal, and then tick validated. This is very common. Okay. Transactions required to issue self-bill invoice. This is under the special guideline, section 8.3. Okay. The guidelines mention there are 9 scenarios only you can issue self-bill invoice. Out of these 9 scenarios, you cannot issue self-bill invoice. So that's why I mentioned, you tak boleh suka-suka saja issue self-bill. No, you have to under these 9 circumstances only, then you issue self-bill invoice. Okay, before last update, which is 18th month, they only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 scenario. Okay, last time they add one more into 9. Okay, but this is not so relevant to us lah. Okay, later I go through one by one to you. Now we have a glance first. Okay, payment to agent, dealer, distributor. Just now I mentioned to you, right? Payment commission to the agent. Will agent issue invoice to you? You need to sell it, right? Just now I mentioned. Second, okay, goods sold or service rendered by foreign supplier. You buy something from foreigner, you sell bill. Right? This one we already talked about. Okay, profit distributions, dividend. Dividend, the company need to do sell bill. Okay, just now we discussed already. E-commerce transactions. Okay, just now we discussed already, right? The Shopee will do the sell bill. Okay, what A, B, C, D is what we already discussed just now. Okay, start from D. A is on E. Paid up to all betting and gambling business. For non-Muslim, they buy lottery or go casino, play games. Okay, they win the money, so the casino will do the sell bill. the player will not issue invoice. Okay, transactions with individuals who are not conducting a business. This section F is very important. That's why I changed the color to blue highlight. Okay, you please remember this one. Section F. Transactions with individuals means that the person never do business. If the person not doing business, will he or she issue invoice? No. Not doing business, no invoice. So if you billing to him, you buy something from him, no invoice, how you issue self-bill? Later I have a lot of example for this. Interest payment, except some situation. This section G, interest payment, is considered very complicated. But most of the times it's applicable to intercompany transactions. Other than that, like bank, not a beauty bank, right? Are you opening bank? No? No, right? Insurance company? No, right? They are a big company. Right? So, majority interest payment is for the bank, right? So it's not so relevant because only the relevant part is intercompany. Sometimes, like intercompany, company A, company B borrow money from here to there, they will charge interest. Most of the time, no interest, right? But sometimes they charge interest. So that interest, you need to do self-bill. But accept some of these situations. So the acceptance, you need to understand there are 5 scenarios, so it's quite complicated. Never mind, I will talk in more details for this interest payment. Later. So section H, claim compensation benefits payment for the insurance business. So this is regarding the insurance business. So we are not in the insurance business, so we don't talk this. So this is for bank, this is for insurance, right? And this last one, payment relation to the capital reductions, share capital, unit redemptions, share buyback, return of capital, or liquidation proceeds. This one is capital reduction means you decrease your share capital. This is very seldom happen because now if you are listed company, most of the times only listed company will do this one. If you are Sdn Bhd, this one is very difficult. You need to go to the court to get a court order, then only you can do the capital reduction. It's more difficult for the company to cross the company. Cross company is easier, but if you want to do capital reductions, it's more difficult. So normally, I never seen so far. But I think this law is specific for the listed company because listed companies sometimes they want to do the capital reduction. Okay, so we go through one by one. Okay, first thing, we understand the process of the sale bill, invoice. Okay, the buyer is deemed to assume the role of supplier. Okay, you have the supplier to issue to yourself. Then you need to also the same. You need to upload for validation. Okay, and then after the validations, you can use that invoice, a sale bill invoice, as a proof of expenses. This one I need to mention to you. Today you buy something from, let's say, the section F, the individual, not doing business, individual, you buy something, you cannot get the invoice, so you do self-bill. Self-bill, within 72 hours, that person can reject or you can cancel. Okay, if the person not rejecting your invoice means that it's valid. So you can use that as a proof of expenses. If then reject, so means that it's no longer valid, so you cannot use it as a proof of expenses. Okay. So the buyer can share the validated invoice with another party. So you want to share, of course you have to share within 72 hours. Otherwise people will they will know they have invoice. Actually you can, as an individual you can go to my invoice portal to register under your individual name. So you can check other people issue invoice to you, you can see from your portal. Everybody can check. So if you suddenly see one invoices is not belong to you but under your name, then you can quickly present it. Later I will show in details how you work with the My Invoice portal, including how to register, how to issue, how to cancel, everything. Okay. So the last thing, another party is not required to issue invoice. Okay? If they want to reject, you can reject. Okay? If he accept, no need to do anything. Okay? So this is a self-bill invoice. Okay, for self-bill invoice, you have to key in the details, right? Okay. Sometimes you can get the details in full, sometimes it's not. Okay, let's see how. So supplier name, you sure you have the supplier name. Okay, just now, the people asking, right, the PIN number how? Okay, self-bill, like you import from foreign. Okay, you need to use this PIN number. EI, okay, 9 times, kosong, 9 times, and then 3 kosong. For Malaysia person, like section F just now, remember, the individual not carrying out business, you just key in this one. Okay. If the person have IC number, you key in IC number, you just key in this one, general one. Remember, I just now earlier, if individual seller selling to you, you sell you need to get either IC number or TIN number. You must have one. Okay. If you have IC number, you key in IC number, this one you can put this one. If you have their exact TIN number, okay, the person so would give you TIN number, so you don't need to key in IC number, then you just do this. Small kosong. So either one. Okay. Then this one of course you have. Okay, MSC code sometimes you cannot get. You just key kosong 5 times. Okay. Classification the 45 classification I mentioned just now, right? Okay. Self-bill you can key in the things you buy is under what classification. Kalau cannot find, you put kosong 22 others. Right? Any question for this simple invoice field key? Okay. No worries. Just now, and later I will have my invoice order illustrator. I also will teach you from what column you key what items. This is what I mentioned just now. Interest very complicated that you can see from here. Okay, you need to imagine interest is required to issue self-bill invoice. This is general rules. Generally, interest semua interest payment you just issue self-bill. But except for these circumstances under the section 8G, this is the publications from RSDN under section 8G 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 circumstances cannot issue self-bill invoice. But most of it is not relevant to us. But in case you need to understand also. The first thing, okay, business charge interest to public at large. This is who will do so? Charge interest to public, bank. Okay, so bank is not, don't care. Bank will do the things. You don't need to care. Okay, interest payment made by employee to employer. What's the message? Employer itu company, dia pinjam money kepada staff. Okay, normally will the company charge interest or not? No, right? Advances to staff, okay, let's say dibayar saja atau tolak gaji kan. The company normally no charge interest. If the company charge interest out, yeah, ini ya, the payment employee pay to the employer. Cannot sell bill because the employee dia tak ada business, dia cannot sell. How to say? You should sell bill actually. Sorry, I also confused. Okay, the interest payment paid employee to employer. Who charges the interest is employer. Okay, employer charges the interest. So employer charges interest, employer will issue invoice directly. So the employee not going to sell bill. Right? Can understand? Okay. Of course, the employee the business he cannot sell bill. Okay, the third thing, interest payment made by foreign payer to Malaysian taxpayer. Okay, foreign payer to Malaysian taxpayer. Okay, who make the payment? Foreign payer. Foreigner dia tak payah comply with invoice. So this sell bill is not applicable. Okay, so Malaysian taxpayer depends on. Okay, if you are a company, you need to issue invoice. If you are not company, you are individual, you don't need to issue anything. Okay, then the fourth thing, payment to a related company with who provide centralized treasury services. This is also very complicated. The key thing you need to know is this: related company. Okay. If you are handling your accountant, you're handling a lot of company related to each other. Okay. There are two kind of intercompany borrowings. Okay. The first time is okay. The company their other business. Okay. Let's say dua company. Satu company they are manufacturing. Satu company they are doing trading lah. This is very common one. Okay. They have their own business nature. So the trading company they borrow money kepada manufacturing company. Okay. They are the charge interest. Okay. Under this they are who pay the money. Okay. Will do the survey. Okay. Unless this is general rules. Who pay the money they do survey. Unless it's a centralized treasury services. Unless macam ada tiga company, satu company trading, satu company manufacturing, satu company dia tak ada business, dia hanya borrow money dari lain-lain company. Dia ada satu centralized treasury services. Macam these circumstances, centralized treasury services sudah menjadikan business dia kan. So under these circumstances, this company have to issue normal invoice to that company who borrow the money. Okay. Okay. So if you have with the company your company borrowings, you need to take out of this one. Otherwise, it's not so relevant to you. Okay. The last one, late payment interest charge or charges imposed by Malaysian taxpayer. Okay. Sometimes the trading company they charge the customer. They issue invoice to the customer. The customer not paying the money many years already. So they want to penalize that company for not paying the money. They charge interest. Okay, that interest that the company need issue invoice to charge the interest for this late payment interest. Okay, so under this 5 scenario cannot self bill. This is the thing. Okay, now this is related to the self bill invoice. I give you a scenario. Okay, you study this one first. Siti is employer of Syarikat ABC. She sold her PC to IT Computers Muhammad. Okay, this is a second-hand PC lah. Okay. So you need to understand. Siti is employee. So Siti doing business, not doing business. So not doing business is under the category F just now. I asked you to remember one. Okay. So itu second-hand PC lah. They sell kepada company IT Computer. Okay. So IT Computer asked Siti to give invoice. Siti said, "Hey, I am not doing business. I cannot issue invoice to you." So IT Computer will sell you because this is under category F. Fulfill the scenario. Okay, needs to assume the roles specify and issues invoice. Okay. Okay. Case number 2. Okay, you can read by yourself, right? Okay. Siti is employer. Syarikat ABC. Nearby processor provides Siti with limited receipt because she does not need to issue invoice. Understand? So same thing. Siti just now I mentioned she is employee. Ini Pakcik Rosa dia jual kuih selesai. Okay. So this is not doing business. Pakcik Rosa is doing business. Okay. So he's selling kuih to Siti. But this role you cannot take Siti as a person. You need to take Syarikat ABC as a person. Because Siti just employee of the Syarikat ABC. Who buy the kuih? Syarikat ABC right? Sebab lepas Siti bayar ini kuih punya duit, dia akan claim back from Syarikat ABC. Okay. So Syarikat ABC dia of course dia, hey hello Siti, Makcik Rosa sila bagi invoice. Makcik Rosa jawab, tak ada lah, everybody belum sampai pada 50k ya. Okay, jadi dia bagi dan return, ada pencil dia tulis. Ini receipt bagi you. Okay, boleh tak? Yes, boleh. Syarikat ABC is not required and it's not permitted. Not not required, okay, because already have receipt. It's not permitted because Majid Rosam is not under category F, right? Hanya kategori A sampai I boleh issue sale bill. Ini tak ada mana-mana satu kategori. So it's not allowed, not permitted to issue sale bill invoice. So how? And the company can continue to use the handwritten receipt provided by Majid Rosam as a tax proof. This example is bulat-bulat I extract from the illustrated guideline and paste here. So a lot of people ask me, kalau I tak ada invoice, boleh tak I deduct tax? Okay, kalau I dapat handwritten invoice, handwritten receipt, okay? Sometimes like you punya toilet rosak kan, you panggil plumber, okay, repair, plumber mana ada issue invoice, dia bagi you handwritten, okay, repair toilet, okay, 100 ringgit, bayar receipt. They are doing business tak? Doing business. So can you issue sale bill? Cannot issue sale bill. A lot of people saying that I terus issue sale bill senang tak boleh. Okay, so exactly the same with this scenario. So the handwritten receipt, yes, you just key in your account. Okay, when do the tax, yes, you can deduct as a tax. Don't worry. Okay. Scenario number 3, okay, CD. Okay, CD dia ada satu commercial property. So she rent to this XYZ enterprise tenant. So XYZ tenant commercial property, so of course he's doing business. So CD doing business using the scenario just now. CD is not doing business. So CD rent out the 10 property to XYZ. She did not provide maintenance or support services to XYZ enterprise. I purposely mentioned City does not provide maintenance or support services. Maksudnya, if City doesn't provide maintenance or support services, it means that City is in the business. Yes. If City does not provide maintenance business, means it's a investment income. Like rumah, okay, everything, just every month they fix, collect rental. Like kalau dia ada provide maintenance and support services, it's more like Airbnb, you like homestay macam tu. Okay, homestay they rent out the room or rent out the property, they will provide maintenance services, do the cleaning service week after. So they're in the business. But if normally you rent out property, you just don't care. Kalau ada rosak ke building rosak apa, you repair itu okay. Bukan doing cleaning, maintenance is not. So this means that City is not in the business. Kalau it's not in the business, it means City is category F. Okay, unable to issue invoice. So XYZ enterprise, yeah, sell bill itself. Okay, it's not doing business. XYZ enterprise need to assume the role of supplier and issue sell bill invoice. So you still stick to the category just now I mentioned to you. Okay, case study 4. Now City is a landlord. Now, okay, kita tukar sikit lah. City is doing business, is a sole provider. Maybe City ada jual apa barang, dia is a business. So it sell and it renting the property to XYZ. So because City is doing business, so City need to issue invoice. Okay, to the tenant. It's very clear. Okay, so sell bill invoice. We ended already. Any question regarding sale bill invoice? Okay. So the key thing is mentioned here. So the most important things I need to repeat is this one. Okay. Because so many people confuse that kalau I beli something, I go and buy something, the supplier don't want to give me invoice. Although I know the supplier is doing business, the supplier dah like, tak ada invoice punya lah, you bayar saja, ambil saja, okay? So what can you do? Can you issue sale bill? Cannot, because it's not under this category. Only not conducting a business, you can issue sale bill. Yes. So you die, mesti dapat invoice atau itu supplier. Handwritten also can. See, If you don't want to issue invoice to me, then you issue a handwritten or printed versions of invoice to me lah. Then you can accept. So this is the most important. Okay. If no question, we ended this part. Self-bill invoice. Okay. Oh. So the 15 minutes break is now. Never mind. We take a short break, about 5 minutes first. Okay. Yeah, rest first. Okay. Because later we will have part for consolidated invoice. Okay. So akan penat kan? Keep continue input. Oh, break sikit. Okay. Rest a bit Okay, so now we go to the part for consolidated invoice. Okay, so why we have consolidated invoice? Okay. The reason is when I mentioned to you just now, when starting, they announced, our Prime Minister announced e-invoice, everybody got panic, right? So if I like selling kuih or I selling the roti canai, I'm not going to issue. Sometimes roti canai maybe their annual turnover are more than 150K a year. They have to issue invoice, but you cannot ask them to everybody issue invoice, right? So there is a solution for this scenario. So how? You no need to issue invoice for all transactions. You consolidated, you combine. Like for example, 1 month, berapa jualan for that itu bulan, combine, you issue satu saja invoice. That is called consolidated invoice. Okay. And this consolidated invoice, dia bukan invoice yang lain. Okay. Like for example, you recall just now this morning, I mentioned to you, under e-invoice, there are 4 types of document. Invoice, CN, TN, refund note. Okay. And we have also self-bill e-invoice, self-bill credit note, self-bill debit note, self-bill refund note. So 4. Okay. So consolidated akan menjadikan keseluruhan tak? No. So consolidated invoice is actually under e-invoice, the number one. So if you go to my invoice portal, you want to issue document, there are 8 selection for you only. 8 jenis sahaja. 4 normal, 4 self-bill. Okay. So consolidated invoice design is to cater the situasi macam I mentioned just now lah, jual burger kat mana, pasar malam ke apa-apa. Okay, you use consolidated invoice. Okay, I mentioned just now accumulated. Okay, photo invoice during a period, combine them into only one invoices. That period, you no need to issue, no need to follow like 1 month one time. 1 month, you can like, I want to combine my weekly sales into one consolidated invoice, can or not? Can? Jadi 1 bulan I ada 4 invoice normally lah, sebab for weeks lah normally. Okay. Sometimes 1 month we have 5 weeks lah. Okay, never mind. So you want to issue weekly, can. You want to issue every 3 days, can or not? Yes, can. A period of time during a period, can. Okay. But you need to make sure okay, the consolidated invoice every month, all the receipt are captured already. Okay. And the last invoice, last consolidated invoice, you have to submit latest. This is the latest date, which is 7 days. Later I will show you. Okay. Who can issue consolidated invoice? When the buyer, they're not going to request invoice from you, then you can combine and jadikan dia consolidated invoice. Okay. If the buyer requests invoice, you have to issue invoice. You cannot say customer come and buy something and he requests invoice. You say no, I cannot issue invoice to you. I want to do console. No, you have to issue invoice to him. If he say no need, okay, I don't issue invoice to you. But then after that, every month you need to console it. One invoice. Okay. Later I will have example for you or better understanding. Okay. So if the customer he don't want invoice, you have to issue what? Issue receipt for him. So two documents. One is invoice. Another one is receipt. Okay? Let's say you doing the cashier at the counter, the buyer come, he say, boss, you want invoice or not? Okay, he said no. Okay, tak apa, I bagi you receipt. So you must give something. You cannot say receipt pun tak boleh. Either I give you invoice or I give you receipt. This is the receipt. Tak ada QR code ni. So this is not invoice. This is only receipt. Okay. So time to submit consolidated invoice is the 7th day after month end. Maksudnya, okay, for this month is April. So April you do consolidate. You have sales. So all the sales in April you need to consolidate and submit by 7th of May before. So even though you issue like weekly one, I mentioned, the 4th week, okay, you need to submit letters by also next month 7. Okay, you understand? Okay, there are two methods to submit, to do the e-invoice, okay, consult invoice, or we can say two ways to present your e-invoice. Okay, actually it's present. How you present? You want to present your consult invoice in a list of receipt or in a summary of receipt. Okay, like this is very hard to imagine. I show you in a picture. Okay. Of course, within the 7th day. Okay. So list of receipt is like this. 1, 2, 3. Every single receipt you show. Any receipt, berapa? That receipt, how much? One by one. Okay. If summary of receipt, you can like series a number. From number 1110 to 1112, total how much? Then from how much? From the receipt, this is the receipt number. From how to how to what, then total is what? Okay, this is a summary. Okay, you look at this invoice, you will ask, you can see this number or not? 1112, and then jump into 1114. 1113, mana pergi? Missing. Okay. Then 1114, then 1115, missing. 1116. Right? Okay. As I mentioned just now, if the customer requests e-invoice, you must give him e-invoice. If you don't want, then you should receipt. So 1113, 1115 is a transaction already issued e-invoice. So when you do console e-invoice, you have to take out that receipt already given e-invoice. So I mentioned just now. Issue consolidated invoice for uninvoiced transaction. Because you will have two transactions. One is already invoiced, and one not yet invoiced. You only need receipt. Okay. Don't worry, I only text you. And this is the thing you need to fill in when you're doing consolidated invoice. Later I will have a visualized illustration for you. I print screen from the My Invoice portal how to fill this one. But now you learn first time. Okay. Because consolidated invoice is for a lot of transactions. So you don't have a particular name. You just in general public. Okay? General public, and you cannot use another word already. This is a fixed word, general public. And then T number, this one, fixed one. This is a general thing. General T number. Okay. Then other information, semua NA, NIC code, 0005. Okay. NA classification, 00. But this is fixed one. Classification is the 45 classification. 004 is only used for consolidated invoice. Okay. You can see this 4 item in red color. This is a fixed word. You just key in this fixed word into consolidated invoice. Exactly the same. Don't need to change. Okay. So the monthly routine is the first one. Okay, you at the counter, the customer come and buy things. You need to ask customer. Hi, you want invoice atau tak bayar? You ask first. Then the customer answer you. Okay, requires. Okay, so the answer say, the customer say, yes, I want invoice. So you get the TIN number. Kalau tak ada TIN number, you get the IC number. You issue invoice. Okay. So if the customer say, tak payah, I don't want e-invoice. So what you give, you issue receipt to the customer, any receipt. Okay. So end of the month, and then before the 7th day of next month, you issue consolidated invoice for that invoice transaction. Means that your console invoice only include the transaction here only. You take up those transactions you already issued invoice. Understand? Here only you issue console invoice. Here only. Okay, this is an example. Okay, the first one is I think it's City. Go and buy handphone. Okay, and she buy handphone and she requests e-invoice. So at point of sales, okay, this person asks for the PIN number. Say City is so good, he have two number already. So she give the both number to the counter, and the counter receive the payment NT number, IC NT number, and submit to my invoice portal, and then you will receive the notification and get the validations, e-invoice, and pass to the city. This is the cycle. Okay. So customer request invoice after few days of transaction. Can or not? Okay. Okay. Means that at point 6, okay, just now we have an example. Okay. City counter, tak payah invoice. Okay. But when she go home, regret. Actually I want invoice. So can she request invoice after that? Can. But need to before the month end. Before month end, literally, means kalau April, she have to request before end of April. Last day is 30th April. It's not calculated by 30 days. Not 30 days. It's follow that month. Okay. So if request before month end, get customer details and issue e-invoice. Okay. If request in subsequent month, closing to next month, even though it's one day, 30th April, you buy something, 1st of May, you want to request for e-invoice, already cannot. You know why? Because next month, they want to do consolidated invoice and submit within 7 days already. So it's already crossed the door. So the month end is the deadline to request for invoice. Okay? So business that cannot issue consolidated invoice. Okay? Not all the business okay. This means that sometimes because some businesses, even though the customer pay the money, the customer say, I don't want invoice, don't give me invoice, give me receipt. But the business say, no, cannot. I want to give you e-invoice because I cannot issue consolidated invoice. Okay, what is the industry? First one is automotive, means car seller. Okay, luxury goods and jewelries. Later I will have a detailed explanation to you. Okay, construction materials. Okay. Payment to agent. Okay, betting and gambling. Construction contractor and aviation. Okay, I will go through one by one for you. Automotive means sell any car. Okay, you go to buy car. Okay, sometimes for the rich people they want to buy a luxury car or Lamborghini number. Okay, the money maybe not so clean. So you have to buy say, car seller, don't issue invoice to me. I don't invoice. The car seller say, sorry, cannot. I must issue invoice to you. Please give me your PIN number. So the government knows this fellow so making money. So rich one can buy this car, sport car. So this is the reason. They want to fix some industry cannot do consolidated invoice. You must issue e-invoice. So aviation, okay, flight ticket and private charter. So rich you go to go overseas, you don't want to buy Asia, you don't want to go Mars, you charter a private to that private go to overseas. So that airplane company need to issue invoice to you. You cannot deny. Construction contract, of course, construction contract, you need to issue invoice because maybe the rich people they want to build one bungalow or a few millions bungalow. You say, hey, I want invoice, don't give me. Sorry, you have to give. Okay. wholesaler and retailer of construction materials. Okay, this is quite complicated. Okay, sale of construction materials regardless of volume sold. Okay, it's not until you go to this is a very good example lah, but there's a lot of argument. We still don't know how we have to tackle this kind of scenario. Like you go to the blacksmith shop, you want to buy just one nut, one screwdriver. Okay, it's a construction material. What? Yes, construction material. But regardless of volume, you just buy one. Then you cannot just buy and then ask for receipt only. No, you have to give details, and the seller need to issue invoice to you. Okay, this is very troublesome. So the construction materials, no, is not all materials. You need to check under the fourth schedule of the Lembaga Pembangunan Industri Pembinaan Malaysia Act 1994. Okay, so for those who selling this construction material, they need to check very carefully each item. Wow, this is under the act, this is not under the act. It's a lot of things to do. Okay. Luckily, we are not in that industry. Got anyone? No one? Got no. But you are not selling the material, you buy the material. Okay. Luxury goods and jewelry details. Okay. For this 5, 6, 7 is not finalized yet. Means that from now they still can do console invoice. Still can. But later, sooner, I don't know when, the law will change. Okay? They already put here. These 3 industry is going to be issued e-invoice mandatory, cannot skip. But now at the moment, still can skip first. Okay? Sorry. Still, the details not yet finalized. It means that you go to Pong you buy jewelries, a lot of money, I want to buy gold. Okay. You want to keep a secret? I don't issue invoice. The show will say no, I have to issue invoice. Give me your IC number. Okay. But now still can. Now you want to give IC, still can. But later cannot. Okay. This one is not relevant. This one also to sell bill. This one payment to tax. Payment to agent, commission, right? Also to be sell bill. So this one you don't need to care. Okay. So this 14 is to take attention. Okay. This is consolidated e-invoice. Okay. You learn about sell bill e-invoice just now. Now you learn about consolidated e-invoice. Consolidated invoice and sell bill invoice cannot combine. It's 2 different things. Okay, sell bill is you buy from purchaser cannot issue invoice to you, then you sell bill. Okay, you can say, oh, I sell bill, very troublesome every time I need to sell bill. I one time sell bill, everyone cannot. Okay, it's mutually exclusive, cannot do it one time. But there are 4 scenarios. You can do consolidated sell bill e-invoice. The first one, okay, only the first one is quite relevant to SME company. Otherwise, it's not. Okay, transactions with individual non-business. Section F, the section person. Okay. Let me ask you, right? If today you are doing business, okay, you've got a supplier. Is your supplier doing business also? Yes. In what scenario, what situation, your supplier is not in the business? Got or not? Reseller, okay. I only think of one scenario lah. Okay, today you were doing the old newspaper, collect old newspaper, and you doing the recycle one. Okay, you tahu tak itu old newspaper kan? There's satu lorry. Okay. From where he collect the paper? From house to house. Is that every house is doing business? No, right? Mostly they are not doing business, right? So it's under category F. So your supplier is not doing business one. Yes, for this kind of scenario. But besides that, normally, like you trading company, you do what business also. Your supplier must be doing business one. So that scenario you cannot do console invoice. If you are doing the recycle, your supplier is the real one. Everybody is not doing business. Okay, then you can do console invoice. So it's very niche. It's not everyone can apply. Okay, then second thing lagi tak apply, bank saja yang apply. Sebab bank tak bayar issues self-view everyone kan, dia console bank okay. Dan satu lagi, ni insurance company can, insurance company can do too much claim, so cannot one by one they do console. It's not applicable to us. The last one is also not so applicable. It's like you have the overseas branch, okay, to do the business for you. So overseas, because overseas not practice invoice, so they not going to have invoice. You need to sell bill, so you can do console sell bill. Okay. Branches, or offices. The company still here. If the company is like incorporate the company to overseas, so it's not your branches, it's another company. So the difference is here. So it's also not so applicable. Okay. Okay. Now we do the case study. It's quite interesting. A customer dined at a restaurant. Okay. In 1st of July and indicated during payment that he did not require invoice. Okay. So not require invoice, the restaurant will give him receipt. Okay, on 25th July, the customer changed his mind and requires the invoice. The customer provides the receipt and asks for an invoice. Should the restaurant issue an invoice to the customer? Yes. The reason is request an invoice within the same month. Okay. Scenario 2, I think you can answer also. Okay. The key thing is it requires after July already, 1st of August. Even in the 1st of August, okay, you go and request for the invoice. The restaurant can issue, will the restaurant issue invoice? Answer. Actually, it's optional. The restaurant, because it's 1st of August, the restaurant maybe not get to the console invoice, right? Because it's 7th month, 7th of the month, okay, only do. Maybe the restaurant is so good that this is for customer, so it requires an invoice. Okay, I give okay. If the customer is unknown person, just reject saja. So actually the answer is can refuse the request. Can, you can accept, you can reject. But after 7 kali bulan, you cannot really, you must reject. Okay. So you just reject. Okay, for consolidated invoice, any question? Alright? So now we'll take 5 minutes break. Okay, now we go to part 4, my invoice. So the basic knowledge and the specific guidelines regarding the e-invoicing knowledge I already explained already. So now we go to another part. This is the my invoice portal. Okay. This is nothing related to the theory. This is the practical one. How you issue invoice using the my invoice portal. Okay. First thing I will go through how to register my invoice portal. Okay. Before you know before you do the invoicing, okay, first thing you need to register under my invoice portal. Okay. Even though you want to use accounting software or you want to use a mobile phone to issue invoice, you still need to register first. Okay. The first thing, okay, everyone know this website, my invoice. Okay. Originally, everything you go back to here. My invoice portal, my tax. Okay. You just in Google search your my tax, you direct you. Okay. My tax, then you log in here. Okay. If you are a company, you want to do a my invoice for the company, you use the director ID to log in. Or the director himself have to log in and appoint him as the director of that company. Okay, then only you can do the my invoice, you can register for the my invoice. Or you are a sole proprietor. Sole proprietor, you yourself, you have to register. Okay, after you register, you log in. Okay, then under this my tax, you will see a my invoice button here. Okay, like this. I enlarged it already. You just click. Okay, After you click, you will come to here. If you are the first time login, it will ask you to accept the term and condition. Okay? Biasa tak ada orang baca. Just tick again and then continue lah. Okay, if you are free enough, you can read lah. Okay, I encourage you to read. Okay, then the next page is to fill in your personal profile details. But most of the things are already filled in for you because you come here through your my text. My text already in the data. They already filled in for you already. Unless you are doing for the company, you just key in the SSC number. If you have that, you are doing. If the company is doing hotel, you need to key in the tourism tax number. Okay. Then click next. Okay. So display everything. Display name. What name will display for you? And all this is no need to change one. You just have a look. It's okay. Only email here you need to take note. Email maybe you change already email address. I don't know. Okay, this is the latest email. Then save. After you click save, you say your registration is completed. Very fast. 5 minutes tak sampai. Sudah set registration. So after registrations, you need to log in again. Okay. Same thing. Log in. You need to go to my text. Same thing. If the company, you need to log in using a director. If Sopro, you yourself log in. Okay, same thing. You need to go to my invoice. Yeah. Okay. Second time login, no more term and condition agreement. Directly come here. This is the main page for my invoice portal. The main page. I cannot extract too much information because the bottom, quick links, right? Quick links is all for the reference. Okay, guideline, reference, FAQ. Okay, you can have a look. Then, more importantly, top right, you click this one. You can see view taxpayer profile. Okay, I'll show you next. This thing. What you most of the things you want to adjust, you want to set anything, you go to here one. Okay. Next thing I'll show you. After you register, after you log in, if you are a director, normally most of the cases director want to register invoice for the company. Okay. First thing you need to, normally the director won't do invoice himself, right? The accountant will do. So the director have to appoint representative for that accountant. Okay, right? So how to appoint representative? First thing, okay, this is a sole proprietor picture. If the company one also have this one. Okay? If you look in the MyTax portion, MyTax website, you can see this. Okay? You click this one, you come to here, appointment of representative. Okay, then you key in the identity number of the taxpayer. The accountant's IC number. If you choose identification card, you can key in IC number. You can choose TIN number also. Okay, key in the TIN number of the accountant. Okay. Okay, this is the one. Okay, sorry, just now this one is for the sole proprietor. Sole proprietor, if you want to appoint accountant, the page will be like this. If it's a company can appoint tax agent, right? Just beside the tax agent, you can see appointment of representative. Also, you key in the TIN number or the IC number of your accountant. After that, okay, you go back to here, end page. Okay, you view taxpayer profile. You can see representative. The representative appointed. The accountant name will appear here. So you can edit the permission for example, this accountant. Okay, you edit the permission. What can the accountant do? I'll show you the accountant details here. Okay, you can submit, cancel, reject, edit profile, manage ELP, everything you can adjust it. Normally, just enable all. So the boss no need to worry. Okay, accountant will do everything. Just enable everything, then save. So after this, the accountant log in the accountant's my tax. He can go to his my invoice and do the my invoice issue document, reject, accept, cancel document using his account. Okay. So second thing, after appoint representative for the company will buy software, accounting software. So accounting software you need to register under my invoice also. Okay. Actually, you want to set up. Anyone already started set up? Haven't? Can we haven't started? Set up for the invoice started already, right? Okay. Actually, there are two parts. You need to set up in your accounting software. Also, you need to set up at the My Invoice portal. Both places. Then after that, they can connect. So I only show how to set up in My Invoice portal. For the accounting software, macam-macam. So different accounting software, their setting is different. So here, I only show how to set in My Invoice portal. So you need to tell My Invoice what accounting software are you using. Okay. So same thing, you come here. Taxpayer profile. So just now you appoint representative under user. This is accountant. So now representative also you need to appoint for that accounting software. Okay. Register ERP. So you click that. You ask you to add ERP system. ERP system. Okay. Name of the ERP system. This is the software name. So this I cannot give you because the accounting software will give you what you need to key in here. Okay. Then how long you want to use this software? Only you click as long as possible. 1 year also can. Then register. Just click register. So the ERP is registered already and it will give you these 3 numbers. Client ID, client secret number 1, client secret number 2. These 3 numbers you need to copy and paste to your accounting software. Okay. So paste it where depends on accounting software. Different accounting software tends to get this number is different. You need to do at the same time actually. Because after you generate this one, the second time you generate the number will be different already. Okay. After you generate this one, at the same time you paste to your accounting software. Then after you paste these three number, you will see the connected green tick icon at your accounting software. Means that successfully connected. I cannot show you because not accounting software. Okay. So now second thing you need to add and manage intermediaries. Intermediaries also accounting software. Same thing. ERP and intermediaries are both talking about accounting software. Okay, same thing. You need to come here, taxpayer profile. Okay, just now you registered ERP, right? So now you need to add intermediaries. Okay, same thing. Okay, so this is the company to sell you the accounting software. So you need to key the TIN number, registration number, name, and all. It's not foreign company. Normally it's a Malaysian company. Okay, then you continue. And these details will be given by your accounting software dealer. Okay. If you don't know how to key in, just ask the dealer to key for you. Because they sell you software, they have to provide service to you, right? Support service. Okay, so add intermediaries, enable everything. Easy. Okay, then add. So it becomes intermediaries appear here already. Okay, so setup completed for the software side and the representative side. So the practical link from your accounting software to my invoice portal will be updated from time to time. Because this website, this setting, from the first time until now, changed a lot already. Because last time I set up already, the time I set up, I see the guideline and I check to the actual portal. The place changed already, different. It will change from time to time. But don't worry, when you want to set up your software to connect to e-invoice, okay, refer to your software provider or dealer for the actual setup. Okay, but basically the idea is like that. Okay, so you want to check the PIN number. Okay, sometimes you have the company number of your customer. You want to issue invoice. You don't have their PIN number. Okay, but you have their business registration number. Okay, can you check how to check? Okay. First thing, same thing, you need to log in your My Tax. The other method is using the My Digital ID. Okay, you click one. You know that we can have our digital ID using your handphone. Are you aware that you go and Google your handphone, Google Play, you can search My Digital ID, you'll come up apps for you. You can download it. That is your IC. Your IC is inside your handphone. Okay, you can use that. Then you click this one. You can use your handphone that My Digital ID. You scan. Okay, they identify your ID. Then only you can do the thin search. Not siapa-siapa boleh search. You have to let LCN know who are doing the search. So one way is using this My Digital ID. Second one is you log in My Tax. Log in My Tax, definitely LCN know who are you already. So here you got this identifier, Jariah Tick. You click this one. Very easy to see the first one. Just now we appoint representative is here. Okay. So this is mailbox. This is tax ledger. Tax position you can check from here. Okay. So after you click the Jariah Tick, it will ask you want to check for individuals or other than individuals. So I show you the individual first. So after you choose individuals, okay, ask you want to key the IC number or the passport number. Okay. Then if you choose the passport number or IC number, you need to key in the number here. And then you click search. It will show you the number already. Okay. If you search for non-individual, okay, company, LLP, corporate society, trust body, partnership, everything you can choose from here. Okay, after you choose, let's say you choose company, then you key in the company SSN number here. Okay, click search. Okay. SSN number, there are two kinds, old number and new number, right? What numbers do you use? Normally you use new number first. Okay? But if the company is older one, the LDN still keep track of the old number, so you try the old number without the dash. Okay. Okay, then after that, we'll show you the T number here. Then it will ask you, are you for the purpose of getting the tax or for the invoice purpose? You just choose invoice purpose. And can wait. So now you know how to search other people T number already, no? Okay. Even now using software, okay, you have the company name. You don't have the SSN number. You don't have TIN number. Are you able to search the TIN number? You have the company name and ABCs and you don't have the SSN number. Old number, new number, you also don't have. How you search the TIN number? You know? You have any idea? Tell me, you know how? Okay, got accounting software, you just key in the company number, they can search SSN number and TIN number for you directly. If the accounting software cannot do so, you can do so also. You just search the company name, okay, from the SSN, they will give you the company number. Then use the company number to check the TIN number just now. Okay, that's all. That means you need to go through two places. One place is the SSN website. Second place is LSTM website. You need to go to two steps. Also can check. But if the personal, because personal name, a lot of duplicated one. Same name, different person about one. So you cannot use the name to search. So for the person, you must get at least IC number so that you can search for the TIN. Okay. Now we learn how to issue document, how to issue invoice. There are 8 kinds of document items, as I mentioned just now, right? Invoice, EN, refund, then sale bill. Okay. This one, consolidated invoice, actually is this one. Okay. So if you want to issue console invoice, you click under here. So actually it's only 8. Okay. First thing we learn how to issue e-invoice. Okay. Just now this is a My Invoice portal. Just now is at home. Okay. Then you click this new document. then it will show you this one. Okay, you choose invoice, then you choose version 1.1. I don't know why he give you to choose now. Of course, you choose the letters, right? You cannot choose 1.0. By default, he give you 1.1. You just select this one, then it give you this interface. Okay, select interface. So the supplier is you because you want to issue invoice. So the information automatically come out already. You need to take care for the buyer information. Buyer information, like if you want to issue invoice for the personal individual, you select the ID, ID, then you give the IC number or passport number. You want to search for TIN number, okay? You can click this one, search. Okay? Then you automatically come up with the TIN number. Then you just validate and then continue. Then come to the third page. You can choose your currency. Malaysian ringgit or what? Malaysian ringgit. Just press next. So add line means now you want to add item. What item is selling? Okay. The classification code, right? If don't have the classification code for your product, you just choose others. Okay, others here. Then description, like you want to sell everything the same, how much? Okay, this is item one. Okay. Then next page, tax. If you're providing service, you need to charge service tax. You need to put here. If you're not charging service tax, you're not charging sales tax, ignore here. Blank everything. You just press. You need to care about this. This is the sub one. You just click continue. After you click continue, you see additional information. For here, now, okay, I don't know how about later, maybe the law will change. Because now it's still April. Compared to full implementation is when? 1st of January next year. So it's January 2026. We still have 8 months to go. Or maybe 7 months. Okay. So the law will change, I think, because now already amended 4 times. Will it amend again for the guideline? Yes. I don't know when we will update it again. So, but up to now, additional information is not necessary for you to fill in yet. You can just press next to continue, don't care about it. And also shipping information you also can skip. Okay, you just press continue. Okay. Now, later I don't know, don't say I said no need to fill in, but 2 months later you need to fill in, then you say I thought something wrong. The law keeps changing. Okay, then this is a summary. Okay, you see the details whether you key in correct or not. After confirm, you sign and submit. You want to submit, you need to sign. Sign means that you need to log in your ID and key password. Okay, after you click submit, it tells you document submitted. This is how you issue invoice. After you click submitted, it's not compulsory to be validated. Sometimes you submit, but if you say hey, your information is wrong, so it's not validated. But if you key in correctly, after document submitted, you go back to the main page, you will see already validated very fast. Okay, e-invoice I demonstrated already. Now I demonstrate how to issue CNTN referral. These 3 I combine together because it's the same thing. Because you want to issue CNTN referral just to change the details of e-invoice. Okay. CNDNRN. Brief means that a lot of the same step like just now issue invoice, I don't repeat. I just show you the different one. The different is new document. Here you choose CN or DN or referral. This page. I mentioned that CN DN referral must come with invoice. So now you want to issue CN, let's say. They will ask you, what is the original invoice you issue? So you need to key the invoice number here. Okay? So you search. But what if you want to issue CN but you don't have the invoice? Can or not? Now still can. You click this one, add A. Then you can skip the invoice number. You directly issue CN or DN. Here. If you don't want to add any reference, total NA here. But normally we will, you need to definitely need to tie with the invoice for your CN or DN. Okay, this is applicable for now. You know why? Because so many invoices you already issue now, but you not yet started e-invoice, right? But after started e-invoice, you will issue creditor CN note, but for the invoice before e-invoice. So that scenario, you need to take this one and ace. But if after implementation of e-invoice, you have the e-invoice already, so you cannot use this one anymore. Okay. So the difference is already there. So now I show you how to issue self-billed e-invoice. Okay. Also the big one, because the same step I am not going to show you anymore. Okay. For here, so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Consolidated is not 8. Consolidated is here. Okay. Self-billed invoice, same thing. Basic information. You just key in. You click next. Okay. So now you become supplier already. Because self-billed invoice, you are the buyer. So the information here, fill in for you already. You need to fill in the information for the supplier. Okay, of course you need to type their registration number or identity number. Then you validate. Okay, PIN number you can search. Okay, then you key in. Then you press continue. Then other things is the same as invoice. Self-completed. Okay. So self-bill. Okay, now I show you the consolidated invoice. This is very, very applicable to those doing retailer. Okay, retailer every day the people come here not request for invoice, right? You issue receipt. So how to issue consolidated invoice? Okay, same thing. As I told you, you have to select this one invoice. Okay, same thing. Continue. Okay, same thing. Buyer, you are the seller. Okay, now you give the buyer information. The difference is the buyer information for consolidated invoice. Okay, just now I already show you the diagram. Okay, but now I repeat again. General public is a fixed word. Okay, this is print screen from the LSDN guideline. Okay, supplier ID, PIN number is this one, and NA. How it actually works. Okay. So for self-billed invoice, ID type you can select this one LIC. So this one is NA. So the PIN number is this one, general public name. Okay. So the rest NA automatically one. You don't need to key in. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 is in red color. This one you need to key in. Exactly the same thing that I show you. The rest is auto one. So this is the most important thing for you to do consolidated invoice. Okay. After that, okay, I show you again. Okay, headline. Okay, headline classification code 004. 004 is only for consolidated invoice. Even though today you sell any other things. Not applicable. Computer. Okay, maybe you sell computer and your buyer don't want invoices. You can do console. Okay, even though like that, you have to click this one 004 for consolidated invoice. Okay, so the restrictions, as I showed you just now, this is in receipt number. Tariff code NA. So the quantity you can choose one only. Okay, one. Then unit price is the total of the invoice and the receipt number here. Okay. So this is maybe 200 receipt and travel receipt. Maybe the total sales of this 200 receipt is 10K, so you just key 10K to capture this one. You understand? Okay, can So you add. Okay, then this is the summary for you to confirm. Okay, you want to add second line also can. Like just now I show you the summary there, 2 or 3 lines, can also. Okay, then you check whether the information is correct or not. Then you sign and submit. Okay, sign it off and submit. So this is a consolidated invoice. Understand? So now I show you how to cancel document. Okay. Just now you issue document, you go to here, right? New document. So now you choose this one, document. Document, you press this one, it will summarize for you two things. One thing is the invoice you issue to other party. And second thing is other party issue invoice to you. Also appear here. You can check from here. Okay. So okay, let's say this one, this invoice you issue already and you want to cancel. So you go to here. There's a three dot. You click this one, you can see the cancel button here. You just click cancel, okay, it will pop up this window for you, ask you for the reason. You just choose one. Okay. Wrong supply details, wrong buyer details, wrong invoice details, or others. If you don't know, you just choose others. Okay. Then you initiate cancellation. You appear cancel. The reason is okay, this is important. Just press other. Definitely will approve one. Then cancel. This one I personally tried already because the first invoice I issue is wrong. So I go to my invoice and do the cancellation. Yes, can. No problem. Okay, how to reset document? Okay, same thing. You come to document here. Okay, so this is other people. Okay, issue invoice to you. You see, Mama, this invoice is not to me. I actually know such expenses. Okay, so you want to reset, you can see a reset button here. Of course, this one is you click inside. You need to check first. Okay, so you confirm it's not your invoice. So you want to reset, you just click this reset. Okay. Otherwise, second method, this is the document here. This is a summary. You don't want to check, you very confirm this is not invoice. There's a three dot here, same thing like the cancellation. You just press reset. Okay. So this is the real this is my company one. Yeah. So when you select the document here, right? So you can see this supplier name is TNB. So I can see TNB issue invoice to me. So this is the invoice issued by me. Here in PLB is my auditor. So I received this document. Okay. You can see I can take this one. This is a real scenario. This is for my company I built out. Okay, you can reset. You can see I just click this dot. I not reset. I show you. Yes, you can reset from here. Okay, so you know how to reset already. Okay, of course they will ask you why you want to reset. Okay, you just choose your reason. Then you press initiate rejection. Okay, and never press. This is a real case. After you press, you will definitely reset. So you know how to issue document, how to cancel document, and how to reset document already using my invoice folder. Okay. So this is the useful link at the LSTech website. Okay. You can I will share the slide for you. You can go to check from here. This is the my Hasil Hasil.gov. This is for e-invoice guideline. Okay. Everything related to e-invoice you can check from here. Okay, this one is everything related to my invoice portal. You can check from here. My invoice.hasil. Okay, this is where you can register my invoice. You have to go to my tax to register my invoice. Okay, this is the page where you can check the latest update. Because today I share with you is the latest one, but when next year is not the latest one anymore. You need to check by yourself. You go to here, my e-invoice. Then you can see the latest update is 4.3. The version 4.3. This is the general guideline updated in March 18. Space guideline is February 21st. Illustrator guideline is September. This one is very nice. You can try and read this one. Illustrations guide. All are the picture one. Okay, so I finished the My Invoice Portal demonstration already. Any questions for My Invoice Portal? No? Okay. If not, then we take extra break about 5 minutes. Then we go to the last FAQ. Thank you. Okay, so now we already learned the part 3, issue in invoice using the My Invoice portal. Okay. So now our sessions is the frequently asked questions. This is a test for you. You need to answer the question, but you don't need to say out loud. You don't need to talk out your answer. You just think about the answer and answer by yourself inside your heart. Okay, you don't need to tell me. Okay, then I will give you the answer. Then you see how many questions you can answer correctly. It's a test for you. If you can answer most of the question, means you are a good student. Pass already. Okay, so this FAQ I get from the FAQ from MCS, and another half is I collected from the questions which are frequently asked during the sharing sessions. Okay, so we go to the first question. Okay, first question is a very simple one. Are all taxpayers allowed to continue claiming for tax deductions for personal tax bills without an e-invoice? This is not knowledge for e-invoice. This is a knowledge for the tax actually, but something to do with e-invoice. You can try and answer it. Maybe I get you lah. Okay, without an e-invoice, but with normal invoice. But with normal invoice or normal receipt. Okay, can I? Okay, I give you the answer. The answer is yes. Because you need to differentiate. E-invoice is e-invoice. E-invoice asks you what? Asks you to issue e-invoice. Okay. Tax is tax. Tax is what? Tax, they will test you whether your expenses is for the business or not. Is for the business, yes, you can deduct. If not for the business, sorry, you cannot deduct. So there are two kind of things. Okay. So, but now the answer is, the question is asking you, are you able to claim the tax deduction even though no invoice filed? Yes, you have a normal invoice. Okay, as long as the expenses is for your business, so no worries, you can still claim for tax deduction. Or the invoice is issued to you for your personal relief, you still can go ahead and claim. Okay. Most of you answer correctly. Okay, the second one. With SMEs, micro, small, medium enterprise. Okay, they have been mandatory to implement invoice, be eligible for the exemptions. Again, if their annual revenue fall below 150k threshold in the subsequent years. This year, I meet the threshold 150k. I start e-invoice. Next year, oh sorry, economy no good. My revenue dropped less than 150k. So next year I can exempt for invoice or not? This is same with GST. If you go through GST era, you will know. Once you start GST, means that what? Whatever you need to do GST. So same thing. Okay, no exemption will be given, even though after you start invoice, your revenue drop less than 150k. So you still need to carry on with e-invoice. Okay. So once start e-invoice, forever you doing e-invoice. Okay. Third question. If MSME, small medium company, SME, conduct sales through physical store as well as e-commerce platform, selling Lazada and Shopee, and also have a physical shop. This is very common. Okay? Must the SME issue invoice for the transaction for both sources? Actually, these questions have two answers. I hint you already. So everyone got answer already, Got that? Okay, so the answer is for the physical store, okay, yes, you need to issue invoice. Okay. For the e-commerce platform, it's not required to issue any invoice. Why? Because the platform provider will sell you for the supplier. Right? This one you understand? Okay, yes. Answer correctly, Good. Number 4. In relation to acquisition of goods from foreign supplier, import, this is import. Okay. When will the Malaysian buyer will be required to issue self-paid invoice? When? import got two kinds, right? Goods, and then the second one is services. Good, we need to determine by what. Okay, you try answer inside your heart. Got the answer already? Right? Okay, the answer is required to issue self-bill invoice letters by end of the second month following the month of the Lawyer Malaysian Custom Department clearance to obtain the imported goods. So after the clearance, second month end. Okay, correct, huh? Number 5. Can I issue self-bill invoice for all suppliers that did not issue invoice to me? All, right? So I mentioned just now, right? Self-bill invoice got special circumstances. So the answer is no. Depends whether the supplier is doing business. If not doing business, is sexual theft. So issue a self-bill invoice is only permitted for circumstances that are provided under section 10.3 of the invoice specific guidelines. 10.3 got 9 situations that only you can issue self-bill invoice. It's not all. Oh, but this one, you don't have any question. This one I've been challenged by a lot of people. You know what is a challenge they ask me? If I have buy something, okay, from individual or from an enterprise, and the enterprise don't want to give me invoice, and he said that his revenue is under 150K. Even though it's less than 150K, you still need to give handwritten receipt or what receipt, and you don't want to give. And I already know his revenue is more than 150K, and yet that person don't want to issue invoice to me. So what can we do? This is a very challenging question. I have an unofficial answer for this. Because you cannot get official answer. No official answer for this. Unofficial answer is you issue self-bill invoice. Okay, I'm using a logic here. The logic is, I don't know whether this person, okay, doing business, whether his revenue is more than 100K or not. Okay, so I need to get a receipt, right? Okay, this is where you know the person should issue invoice, but they issue handwritten invoice to you. And another assumption you can put is, okay, I think this person is not doing business. It's individual, so I issue self-bill, even though I know this person is doing business. So you do the self-bill. Okay. It's wrong or right? I would say it's wrong, but why you want to do so? Because it solves the problem. Although it's quite wrong, but is there any penalty for this? No, no penalty for this. But you can protect yourself. You do the self-bill. Okay. This is not the correct answer, but this is the solution for this scenario. Until further guidance come up with this, because now I read through all the guidelines, no answer for this question. Okay, so this is regarding the refund note. Refund note scenario. Okay, when you should issue refund note. Okay. Supplier issued invoice to buyer and buyer paid accordingly. After defect goods are returned and supplier refund the money to the buyer. Remember just now I explained to you refund note, you need to think about one key thing, invoice. Okay, so you answer for this already or not? Okay. The answer is yes, you need to issue refund note. Anyone get this wrong? No, okay. So second, supplier issued invoice to buyer and buyer accidentally paid extra. Paid extra, then you refund the extra portion to the buyer. So do you want to issue refund note? No. Third one. Okay, supplier never issue any invoice, but the buyer paid the money. Then you refund the money. You want to issue refund note? No. Okay. Supplier refund security deposit. Security deposit is refundable. Refundable means that you never issue invoice. So when you refund money, no need to issue refund. So very clear. Okay. So this one also a lot of people answer wrongly. Does my invoice portal allows for editing for information within 72 hours after the invoice has been validated. So within 72 hours, can you edit the invoice? You think? You need to answer me. You answer by yourself. Logically, okay, the answer is no. Cannot edit. Not allowed to edit invoice after validated. Validated means, okay, that's it. Cannot change already. Even though it's within 72 hours. Okay, next question. So the issuer accidentally made a mistake during the issuance of invoice or self-pay invoice. How should the issuer rectify this mistake if the issuer notices the mistake within 72 hours from the time of validations and the said invoice, or the for the invoices? Now it's saying you cannot edit. So what should you do? Wrong already. Okay. The answer is cancel the invoice and reissue a new invoice. Just cancel it and do a new one. Don't edit. Cannot edit. Oh, okay. So now the question is one by one. Okay, you notice the mistake after the following weeks. So it's already after 72 hours. So you cannot cancel everything. Become permanent. What should you do? Imagine when there's money. Oh, wrong already. Oh, after 72 hours. So you issue what? CN, DN, or refundable. Issue CN or to you change the figure of the invoices. Because CN, DN need to time the invoice one. Okay? So you can make these changes using CN, DN, refundable, but how long you can make the changes? Within how many months or how many years? Time frame to issue e-invoice adjustment, DNCN, after 72 hours. How long? Logically, how long? Okay. The answer is no time frame, means forever. No time frame. You want to adjust your invoice using CN after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Yes, you can. Because the business practice is like that. Some business, they give credit terms, even though they give credit terms 3 months, but the buyer pay money maybe 1 year later. And it's true scenario. Okay, maybe cash flow problem, they pay 2 years later, got also. But when they pay money, they ask the supplier, hey, sorry, I want to pay money, but I don't have enough money. We give you some discount. I pay all, okay, not. Normally the supplier say, yes, okay. At least I can collect money. So I give discount. So I give discount, I give credit note. So after 2 years, you issue credit note, still okay. This is real life business practice. 11. What is invoice treatment for deposit? Deposit got 2 kinds, right? I think you already very familiar with this. I repeat few times already. Deposit is refundable, then you no need to issue e-invoice. If deposit is non-refundable, e-invoice is required to issue. Same concept applies to voucher. Voucher maybe is not so applicable to SME. Voucher, good example is A1. You can go and buy cash voucher one. I can buy cash voucher. And then A1 sell you cash voucher. You can see whether this is refundable or not refundable. Normally it's not refundable, right? Not refundable means the time you buy the voucher is considered their sales already. So they will issue the invoice. Okay, if they say this voucher for you, if you don't want to use, you can return and get back the money. This is refundable, right? So if refundable, then they cannot issue the invoice. This is the thing. Okay, now I have 5 series of the questions, which is the same question. This is very commonly asked during my previous seminar. Okay. The question is, who should issue e-invoice? You challenge yourself. Okay, now this is a first scenario. Okay, landlord not doing business. And this landlord rent a property to a tenant not doing business also. Most probably this property is a house. This invest a house, rent to the person, and rent the house for personal stay. So both not doing business. Who should issue e-invoice? Okay. The answer is no one. No one doing business. So no one should issue e-invoice. We go to second. Who should issue e-invoice? Now, this person is doing business, but the business revenue is less than 150. This tenant also doing business, also less than 150. So who should issue e-invoice? Challenging. Not challenging. Answer is no. Both also no. I mentioned e-invoice. No issue e-invoice, but this landlord, she is doing business, so she should issue a normal e-invoice. Normal traditional invoice. Receipt also okay, right? Okay, understand? So third also, who should issue e-invoice? This is a landlord, and doing business is more than 150K. This is tenant, also doing business, also more than 150K. In this policy, who should issue e-invoice? Very clear, right? Very clear, right? Doing business more than 150K, subject to e-invoice. Number 4, landlord not doing business. Tenant doing business more than 150K. Also very clear, who should issue e-invoice? Tenant. And what tenant issue? Self-bill e-invoice. Alright. Okay. Then this is the last one. Landlord doing business less than 150K. Tenant doing business more than 150K. Who should issue e-invoice? Okay, the answer is not e-invoice, but is traditional invoice. Okay, understand? But if this landlord want to issue e-invoice, can voluntary. Can. So no question for this. Okay. So we go to the 17 questions. Okay, now we talk about utility bills, like the water bills, TNB bills. Okay. Most of the times when the tenant go and rent a property to do the business, the TNB and water sometimes is under the name of the landlord. Okay, right? So, but who pays the bills? The tenant pays the bills, right? So how the invoice is going to? Okay, I already give the answer. And maybe you try to think. Today you rent a shop, you want to do business, but the TNB and water bills under the landlord, so it's not under your name. So how? How you want to invoice for that electricity and the water? Okay, the answer is depends on who issue the invoice. Just now 5 questions, you already can identify who should issue invoice, right? So the person issue invoice, he has to include the utilities inside the invoice. Okay, for example, this scenario, tenant issues self-bill invoice. So when he issues self-bill invoice, the self-bill invoice has to include TNB, electricity how much, water bill how much inside the bills. Okay. If the landlord issuing the invoice to the tenant, under the invoice mention electricity and water bill, so that the tenant can claim the expenses. Although the payment, who pay the bills is the payment as a tenant to pay, but the expenses stated in the invoices. Okay. Now is also another question, the rental one. Okay. So business tenant rent a property from 3 individuals not conducting business. How the tenant issues self-bill invoice? As you know, you need to self-bill. These 3 persons is a landlord. They are not doing business. They are under the category F. So tenant need to self-bill. When self-bill 3 persons, they need to self-bill for 3 persons. Okay. Okay. The question depends on, I already give the answer, depends on tenancy agreement. If the tenancy agreement saying that, okay, this first person, yes, the big boss, he's the big boss, he's sharing 50%. This person sharing 20%, this person sharing 30%, maybe, so total 100%. So when you sell bill, you need to charge accordingly. 3,000, right? So this one maybe 2,000, 1,500. This one is 100, this one is 1,000. Like that. Okay. If not stated in tenancy agreement, how? You divide by 3. So tenancy agreement nowadays, after invoice, they have to mention very clearly if this is possible. Okay. I think this is the last question. For corporate agent, where the existing process includes issuance of invoice to charge commission to the company, can current process maintain instead of self-bill invoice? Means that you are a trading company, you have agent to provide selling, marketing services for you, and the agent is not personal, it's a company. Some company they are marketing agency, so you pay the marketing agency company commission. So now the practice is the agent company will issue invoice to you to charge the commission. Can this practice continue after e-invoice? Okay. The answer is cannot, because it's mentioned under the section 8.3 self-bill e-invoice. Okay. Payment to agent definitely self-bill. Even though you have an agent, he charge you commission, he issue invoice to you, issue e-invoice before you check. Sorry, you cannot issue invoice to me because under the law, I need to pay you commission, I need to sell bill. So this is under the law. So even though you issue invoice to me, I have to reset. Okay. Okay, so thank you. Are you all answered correctly for all questions? Yes? Okay, so now we go to the last part already. Okay. How will you prepare for the e-invoice? Because now we have come up 2 months already. You need to start. Maybe you can start earlier. Maybe you can start June. To get yourself familiar a bit for the e-invoice. The preparations okay, including 3 phases, three scopes. The first one is human resource. For the company, okay, they need to have accounting team equipped with necessary expertise and capability. Like you today, you attended this course. Now you already have the knowledge and expertise to do the e-invoicing. Okay. Business process, they have to review the current process of invoicing because a lot of training company they have a sales team. The sales team, each salesman can open invoice, can issue invoice. But after e-invoice, maybe they want to restrict only. Hey, not everyone can issue e-invoice under control. Maybe only 1 or 2% can issue. So how they're going to practice is they need to design for the process. Okay, the third one is software investment. Okay. Of course, you need to buy accounting software with the invoice requirement. Most of the software currently you're using is okay to cope with the e-invoice. Like the customized one, they will ask the service provider whether they can have e-invoice. If they cannot cannot cope with the e-invoice, or maybe you need to manually submit the e-invoice through the my invoice portal already. If you invoice every month just as 1, 2, 3 invoices only, yes, it's okay. You use manual to do it. If every day 10 or 20 or 1 month hundreds invoices, impossible for you to go to my invoice portal manually one by one issue. You need accounting software. Okay. So incentive, there is an incentive provided by government. Okay, but this is not pay money to you. This is can deduct tax. The expenses incurred for implementation of e-invoice can deduct 50K for the tax for the year of each year. So including the consultation fee to implement the invoice. Consultation fee means that you consult for the processes and human resources or anything related to this implementation. Okay. The effective year is from 2024 to 2027. Okay. Okay, this is the last thing I want to mention.
interim relaxation period. Okay, it's a grace period for a company or businesses to start e-invoice. The relaxation period is like honeymoon, 6 month honeymoon for you to just relax. Okay, the period is by for most of the businesses will be started 1st of July, right? Okay, from 1st of July until 31st December, this 6 months, all businesses they can choose to issue consolidated invoice. Even though for the 6 industry, they cannot do consolidated invoice. Under this 6 months, they still can do. Okay? Or you are now started e-invoice already. If your customer requests e-invoice from you, you say, even though I started e-invoice, but I relax now because government give me 6 months relax, so I give you receipt. I do console e-invoice. Yes, can. But after this 6 months, next year, you have to implement full. Every customer requests e-invoice, you need to give e-invoice. So this is the thing. But I'm not encourage business to start with this one. You straight away start with the full implementation. Issue the normal e-invoice. Because you issue, if you do something wrong, you still can be forgiven. No penalty. Because you comply. Just only you do wrongly. But if you not start with the full one, you do the console. When next year you start the full one, then you do wrongly, then you will be getting penalty already. Okay, so this is the reason. I'm not encouraging people to use this verification period. Okay, so here completed our course today. So any question? Q&A session now. Means you all fully understand already. Okay, if no question, then we end the class today. Thank you very much.